Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello and welcome people to Footy Judgmo. It's Monday and Liverpool and Arsenal are top of the Premier League. Man City robbed Chelsea to go to another final against Manchester United, who Eric Ten Hag thinks it's a great achievement to win against Coventry on penalty. Absolutely. This is the standard of Manchester United. We'll speak about Ten Hag and should he stay at the club because he did an achievement that I think they never did in about 15, 20 years when he reached 2 cup finals back to back. That's what Eric Ten Hag thinks.
Wow.
And we'll speak, he actually thinks that. And actually, we'll speak about how Man City's schedule was very tiring and what does it mean? And Pep Guardiola renewal or not? Is he staying or not? We'll talk about that as well. So hit that like button. If you just joined us now, the target, 300 to 400 likes live. This is your counter views show, Monday morning with Rory, Nobbins, and Tom. Of course, hit that like button if you're watching us now. Hit that like button if you're watching us on the replay. How is everybody feeling this beginning of the week? How is this week going?
I'm jolly good and brilliant.
Absolutely. Everybody's happy. I think we'll start with Manchester City. Is that okay with everyone? We'll start with it, Manchester City.
If we want to start with robbery, we'll start with robbery.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Don't mind that.
We all agree that was a penalty. But the performance of Manchester City, though, does that give anybody hope that Manchester City actually, with pressure a little bit, if Arsenal and Liverpool win their games, Manchester City can be 4 points behind them. Does that give you hope, anybody, that performance for Manchester City? What the fuck?
No. I've seen them play worse and still pull through. I've got PTSD. I've seen them play worse and still pull through. They always just find the fucking way because of that bald man behind Nobbins. I cannot stand Pep Guardiola. He is ruining the sport I love. He's ruining the competitive integrity of it. And he can do all this stuff. Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, we shouldn't do all this. Watch them when they play Brighton, put 4 past them, and it'll look like they're flying. And it'll be back to normality where they just go win every game now. That's what it is. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping they go Brighton. I'm hoping they lose. But I've seen Man City too many times.
This defeatist attitude feeds into your players, and that's why Trent came out and said whatever he said about not winning the title or whatever because of little giving up people like you, Thomas Little. That's why Rory would never be as givey uppy. No. Look at him shaking his head.
Rory hasn't lost 2 titles by a point.
Fighting for this title like Kevin Keegan in the 90s. So
yeah, that went so well for Kevin, didn't it?
History is there to be changed or whatever.
Not against Perth.
The only thing that's given me hope is that 4 of City's next 5 games are away, and they do look tired.
4.
Yeah. 4 of the next 5 are away.
That many?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, they're all against.
I never realized that actually.
Yeah, so they're all against teams that City should beat, but they've if City are going to drop points, it's normally away from home. They're not the easiest games. Brighton away, Forest fighting for survival. Feel like there's an agenda against them. So, and then I think it's Fulham and someone else maybe. But look, if they keep playing the way that they're playing, teams will have chances. It's just whether those teams capitalize on them. But all we can do is fight.
The way they played against Chelsea, people. Bro, Man City were completely out of it. Like the players can't kick a ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we keep playing like that, then yeah, 100%, we will definitely drop many points. I'd like to think it's just hopefully like a bit of an outlier in respect of. I don't know if we're talking about Pep's comments later. I don't really have much sympathy for him. We played 120 minutes in a really intense Champions League game on the Wednesday, was it? Then me and LB discussed, what should the team be? And we were talking about, Oscar Bob, Doku starting, Rico Lewis starting, Rodri being given a rest, blah, 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 blah. And then the lineup is like, we just played this really high intensity game a few days ago, and on that day, like the players looked knackered at the end of that game as well. So after like 20 minutes, we were just absolutely done from like a fitness perspective, going into a game against Chelsea, who have got very fast forward players, so they're always going to try to outdo us in that respect. We played a really high line, and again, our players were just shattered. Rodri needed. This was the last opportunity to rest Rodri, and he looked really tired for the past few games. He's looked really leggy, and have been.
I hate that word for some reason. Where's that word called? Leggy.
Apologies.
It's an English word, isn't it? It's really English word.
Do you prefer those terms, shattered and knackered?
Tired.
That's boring,
tired, because that doesn't
suggest sleepy.
Tired doesn't suggest that his legs are going. That suggests that he's drowsy.
He's
leggy.
The reality is sleep. The reality is his legs simply aren't quick enough now because he has run so much this season. They're not moving quick enough to match the
you might
pace
say
of others
he's
around him.
Leggy.
He's
very much leggy.
I have no sympathy though. I have zero sympathy. And by the way, this doesn't just apply to Man City; it applies to Arsenal as well. But you've got Bernardo Silva plays 120 minutes.
He's got sympathy for us. Get him.
Well, I do have a bit of sympathy for Liverpool because you made changes yesterday and still won. But Bernardo Silva played 120 and then 90 in 3 days, and Mateus Nunes played 0 minutes. It's like you can't complain about player welfare if you're not using the depth of your squad. Mateus Nunes might not be good enough for the big games, but the fact is you spent 50 million on him. He was one of the best players at another Premier League club. Like, if you don't trust him, that's a you problem. That's not the TV broadcaster's fault or the Premier League's fault. That's on you.
Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely agree. Like, your squad is there to be used. Again, this my squad, maybe it would have resulted in a loss. But my squad didn't have Rodri in it because, again, you got to ask the question, when's he going to get a rest now? The answer is he isn't. So maybe you lose the game, but then you got to think about the Premier League games coming up. So yeah, I also don't really have much sympathy. And we got away with it. I mean, let's not, even without the refereeing decision, let's all be brutally honest here. We didn't deserve to win that game. If Jackson was semi-competent in front of goal in that game, it would have been a fair number of goals we conceded, and we got very fortunate that they didn't score those goals. And again, we even got fortunate with our goal as well, I think. So the result would
penalty.
No, that's what I'm saying.
About the penalty.
No, but I'm making the point that even without the penalty, the point is that we didn't really deserve to win, based on the actual football that was played on the pitch. And again, I can't really blame the players because again they are tired as we've discussed. But you've got to ask questions of Pep in terms of the very strong lineup. Very confusing. Maybe doesn't trust some of those players. It's a shame. Again, I thought this was a game tailored for Bob starting, Doku starting.
Well, Jack Grealish wasn't tired.
I thought Jack was all right, to be fair, for large portions. I mean, it wasn't the worst. I guess like what I would say about it is
that guy. Like this is
I guess what I would say about the game was, look, obviously this is after. It was a massive risk, and personally, I don't think the risk shouldn't have paid off, but it did in terms of outcome. I guess maybe his thinking was, my players are obviously down after getting knocked out by Madrid on penalties. We need to sort of
final. We'll bounce them back up.
Exactly. So and especially maybe a player like Bernardo, who obviously missed one of our penalties. Maybe Pep was thinking, I need to play them through it, get that morale back up, and get them back into a winning situation. Now, maybe that was the thought process. I still don't agree with that decision. Ultimately, it paid off, but it shouldn't have paid off. But, I guess at the end of the day, it has. So hopefully, you'd like to think from a City perspective that that they will take this win and go on. But yeah, for me, that was by virtue of chance rather than what we warranted.
Oh, yeah. It was fully down to the fact that Mr. Nicholas Jackson finds every single possible way to miss chances. That man ran through on goal. The man ran through on goal, took it around the goalkeeper, and that entire pass of play ended with him not even having a shot.
Have you seen that one angle from the stand?
Yes. Terrible.
I haven't.
So bad. There's an angle from the stand that's like directly sort of behind Jackson. So the sight that Jackson would see, and it is just an open goal.
He's still.
I'm not with you guys at all. I think Jackson always missed chances. So I'm like, he's horrendous, right? What I'm taking from this game is two things. Number one, City's defense, again, bull watching the whole game. They're like watching the game like us, bull watching. And again, Pep Guardiola is having the wrong plan to cover Rodri. Rodri, again, by himself in the midfield, being overrun. And the second is the decision that went against Manchester United a day later, and it didn't go against City. Wan-Bissaka was 2 yards away from the guy, and it hit his hand. While Jack Grealish, it traveled 10 yards and Jack Grealish moved his hand, and the referee didn't call it against them. Man City could have been completely we could have been looking at this differently. We're looking at it now because Man City won. If Man City lost that game, because that was a clear penalty for me, would have been sitting here talking different. Forget Jackson missed it. These chances were created because Man City, who cares about Chelsea, right? We don't care. Nobody cares, right? I'm serious. Nobody cares. If Chelsea went to the final and Man United, I know that the conversation would have been who's going to have a better season than Arsenal in the final. Whoever's going to win a trophy, that would have been the conversation. Fun, nice. We're going to have jokes and laughs, but no one cares. Both teams are in the trenches. They need a massive, massive reboot, right? But we would have been talking about City differently. We would not have been sitting here remembering Jackson's miss. I get that Chelsea wanted to go to a final to play Man United and they win trophies. But you look at this City team, how they play now, and they're wide open defensively.
Again,
wide open defensively.
Again, I think
and
a lot
Pep
of
Guardiola isn't doing anything to fix it, Nobbins. That's what I'm looking at.
No, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with your opening gambit of we'd be talking about City differently. I think we're talking about City in a very reasonable way. We're not blinded by outcome bias. We're not saying, oh yeah, and City deserve to win. We've all sat here and agreed that City were not good against Chelsea and that they didn't deserve to go through.
And you haven't been good in a lot of games lately. That's what I mean. And you get away with it because you have individual quality.
What were the other games recently that we played?
I remember the Brentford game, right?
I wouldn't say Brentford was recently.
Against Real Madrid, for example, the first game, you scored a lot of goals because of, and I repeated that to you, Nobbins. I told you, it's impossible that Pep Guardiola is sitting there assuming that Gavardiol is going to come up with a right-footed to the top corner. He's not.
I'm not sure.
Defense was wide open.
Can you name some other games? I'm not sure that's a good example. I think recently we played well, to be fair. I think of the Villa game. I think of the Palace game.
Again, in the Villa game, you conceded too many. You conceded chances in the first half. Again, couple of chances, 3-4 in the first half.
Didn't we win 4-1 and dominated?
In the second half only. In the second half. That's my point. Is that
I'm not sure I can look at the Villa game as an example of a bad City performance. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that was a good performance.
Okay,
from City.
I believe if Zaniolo isn't a bozo and not opening the wall, I don't think you score. In that first half, you were wide open.
I'm not.
But anyway, long story
sure
short, I actually am looking at this City team and I think you can be got at. That's my point. You aren't as sound as that years before.
Obviously, I don't think that's in dispute.
That's my take from the game.
And that's never been in dispute. But again, I'd put a lot of that down to the fact that again, and it's our own fault. It's Pep's fault. He played a team who just like clearly couldn't cope with it. Kyle Walker, who've discussed many times, is having a weird season where sometimes he'll do something brilliant, but then sometimes he'll be really, really horrendous. I thought he got so many. His positioning was really, really poor against Chelsea, in my opinion. Too many times, and maybe just the high line in general. To be fair, but for me, maybe this is out of hope rather than anything else. I'd like to put that down to mainly the fact that we clearly were very, very tired from the game. So I'd like to think that won't be an issue going forward. We've got a few days now until the Brighton game. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it will be a recurring issue. Of course, we're a little bit leaky, but actually, I think we've conceded maybe as many goals as Liverpool in the Premier League. Maybe one less, maybe one more. So it's not like it's a horrendous defensive situation which is occurring. Certainly compared to Arsenal, we're nowhere near the level defensively. But
it's not bad on the comparison of the Premier League, but compared to what I've known City to be in recent years, it's just this is a City team that there's a clear way to get at, and there's a clear, consistent, successful way to get at them, which is
and we know why.
Which is right back or left back. Wait for them to do their tuck inside, and just hit them with pace down the wing. And the odds are Kyle Walker's not going to get out there and tackle him, so then you're in on goal, or whoever's left back is not going to get out there and try and tackle him and get in on goal. The effect City win games because they're Man City and they have some of the best individual players in the Premier League, and they do have a very well structured attacking system, which against most teams works. But there are certain games where if a team can set up defensively and are incisive and clinical on their counter attacks, they'll cause City problems. Now that's a lot to all come together at once. I'm not saying that this is just this will happen every week. It's a lot to come together at once, especially for a lot of these low end teams who don't have the quality to match with City. But for the first time in a couple of years, there is a clear, concise blueprint that every team can follow. Like we had your number for a year or two in terms of City, in terms of how to beat them. But only really us could do that because our players were good enough and had the energy levels and had this, that, and the other. Arsenal gave a form of a blueprint this season in terms of set up in this defensive structure and this, that, and the other. That's not going to work for a lot of teams because they aren't simply as good defensively. Chelsea are not good defensively and are not good attacking, but are still able to cause problem after problem after problem because there is just one massive gaping area which hasn't been fixed this year, which is wider areas. And if that isn't addressed within the next couple of games, I feel that a team like a Brighton, who, if they're able to just get the right players on the pitch at the time, i.e.
It hasn't been addressed all season, Tom. It hasn't been addressed all season.
Yeah, and you look at the losses, it was teams which had pace on the wings and exploited it. Wolves with Pedro Neto. We should have won through Luis Diaz, but he can't hit a barn door. Arsenal probably should have won at the Etihad, but Martinelli just wasn't on. If it was Martinelli on the left instead of Trossard, I think that's probably a goal. Because it's the same metric of pace down the line. Not just like pace through the middle. Pace right on the byline where the wing back should be and isn't. That's where you get in. That's where you cause the problems. And I don't think Pep is going to fix this now because there's 5 games left to go in the season. And if any team is going to... I don't think it's this astounding thing to figure out because I think most teams know it. But if there's one team that can exploit it, I think it throws a spanner into the works.
No, yeah. This isn't a... Sorry, Tom, go on.
This title race, this title race in terms of, we had 18, 19, 21, 22 in this season. This is the first one where I'm looking at it and going, City could drop points here. The City look loose. I would say Brighton, but I don't think they've got the attackers available for it. Like, if I was Brighton, I'd need Joao Pedro, Enciso, and Adingra. And I don't know if all 3 of them are fit. Let me just have a little look.
After the Arsenal game, the thing about what the Brighton after the Arsenal game, really Arsenal at the end won the game fair and square. And if Arsenal can do it, I believe City can. They will win the game away at Brighton. However, the only difference is City will have pressure on him because they'll be 4 points behind both teams.
Do you want me to be honest?
Win against Chelsea, and we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah. Do you want me to be honest, Mo? The 2 games at the earmark is ones to look out for with City are Fulham away at 12:30 and Tottenham away. Tottenham have the pacing behind in Timo Werner and Brennan Johnson. They're not good footballers, but they've got the pacing.
Johnson.
Yes, they're not good footballers.
The league hopes on Timo Werner and Brennan Johnson.
No, Mo, they're not good. They're not good footballers, but they're
quick.
Have the pace to exploit it, and they can give it to a guy who can score goals in the middle in Heung-min Son. And it's the same thing with Fulham in the sense that Fulham have Adama Traore. He's not a good footballer, but he can just cause a lot of problems with his pure pace. They're the things that will cause the problems.
I'd say Forest, is the only other one as well. If you look at on each side, Hudson-Odoi one side, Elanga the other side, Chris Wood holding it up at the top. The thing is, I
can't reasonably put my title hopes in Chris Wood though. I can't.
I know.
I can put them in Son.
I can
someone put them in Muniz.
Yeah,
I can't put them on Chris Wood and the inevitable 75th minute Divock Origi substitution. I can't. If it was Taiwo Wanyi, then maybe. But I can't. And I don't think that Forest's defence is resolute enough in terms of holding out. I can see a Fulham defence holding out, and I can see Tottenham's defence wouldn't hold out, but Tottenham's defence would cause a set of different problems for the City side. It's Forest where I look at it and go, Nia Kise and Murillo with Ryan Yates in front and fucking Nico Williams and Ola Aina that's not a defense that can keep City out, and their goalkeeper can't keep them out either. It's not like that they can concede chances and the goalkeeper's going to have a worldie. It's just all going to come. Not Forest might get 1. They might even get 2, but they would concede 5. They would concede 4. That's the problem.
I think it's all on Spurs. I think Spurs are the team that you go. They have
It's
the ability.
never a good sign, that is it? That's never a good sign.
No.
All my hopes on Spurs.
No, it's not ideal. I'd rather it was a different team.
Guys, guys, it's unacceptable that we have almost 400 people here and we aren't even on 100 likes.
That's
Guys, the
disgraceful.
only way this channel is going to grow, we're going to get more people if we get to 200, 250 likes. If you like the video, YouTube will push this to the next viewer. So stop what you're doing now. I don't need to show you like I normally do. You close the live chat on your phone, just click that X and hit that like button. I want within the next 5 minutes to be on 200 likes. Come on, people. And also, I want to thank everyone in this community for 20K on this channel. Rory, Nobbins, Tom, and the other people that work with me and help me. I'm so grateful for you guys for giving me your time and helping me with this channel. I never thought I would be here 20K. Thank you, everybody in the chat, of course, for watching us, supporting us, and I hope that you're entertained. We try to have both aspects, shameless banter and also football talks. So thank you, everybody that supports us and actually watches our shows. We appreciate you guys very, very much, to be honest, and I appreciate all the guys that helped me here. Thank you so much, people, for. But to thank me better, just hit that like button. Get us to 200 likes. Go ahead.
May I say one? Before we move on from Man City, may I say one final thing? Yeah. So to totally agree with like Rory and Tom's analysis thoughts. Again, what I would say is, this isn't new information. Like we've seen this since like basically day one of this season. Like the issues have been consistency. It's not like we're going to resolve them. I think what maybe there has been, maybe it's just a coincidence, but sort of since that Arsenal draw, it seemingly we do seem to be almost leaning into the fact that we know we're not as defensively resolute as previous seasons, so we are sort of going for it a little bit more. I don't know if it's a coincidence that straight after that Arsenal draw, we failed to score a goal. We then put 4 past Palace and put 4 past Villa, and then however many past Luton, and then even at Real Madrid scoring 3. So I think that maybe we are sort of leaning into just attacking a bit more, and it's very tricky to outscore City, so it probably plays to our strengths, and our attacking plays a bit more, to be fair. And there's a lot of the season still to go. But hey, if City are currently, I think most people would say they're favourites to win the FA Cup, and maybe even favourites to win the Premier League. So if we can win the double in an off-season, or an off-season relative to what we expect City to be, then that is a little bit mad in respect of what that achievement would be. It would also be the first time ever that anyone's done Premier League and FA Cup double back to back. Like it's never been done before in England. So that would be nice if we can do that. I hope we do it, but you never know.
Anyone but City to win the league.
What the hell?
Pep.
You not want us to win a treble into the double? Why not?
No. Why do you think I want City to win the Premier League?
Because you want me to be happy.
For you, I want you to be happy. You can be happy with other things. I can come
can't.
to England and we can go for dinner and you'll be very happy as well.
Where would you take me to dinner, Mo? Where would you
take you and your missus. Well, I don't know England that much, but I'll take you.
We can go to a really expensive. We'll go to Hawksmoor in Manchester.
We can. I don't care.
We'll invite Rory.
Tom
can hold that though.
The fact you know the name of it just screams posh boy. I would not know the name of a posh restaurant.
That's because you. Oh no, never mind. I was going to say something mean then. No, I'm not going to say it.
I want to hear it now. No, I want to hear it now. No, I want to have to hear it now.
No, I'm not going to be rude. No, I'm not saying it. No, that's mean. No, that wasn't called for.
Close to getting him. I was so close to getting him.
No,
I went on a big rant about Pep Guardiola and the football because after the Real Madrid game, the majority of Man City fans, not you, but the majority said, "But we had possession. We deserve to win." And I'm like, "No, you don't."
Let's not make any mistake about it. Let's not fall victim to outcome analysis. We were not good against Chelsea, and we definitely did not deserve to win. No chance.
No, but even against Real Madrid, it's like we deserve to win, and I'm like, "No, you don't." There is another aspect of the game, which is just defending.
I thought we were the better team against Real Madrid. I
Yes,
will say that.
marginally actually, because they defended very well as well.
I think they defended fine. I think Arsenal defended very well against us.
Yes, Arsenal really limited you.
Yes. I think that when people say defensive masterclass out of possession, what Arsenal did at the Etihad, that was a defensive masterclass. What Real Madrid did was good, but at the same time, they did offer us numerous big chances. Rory can correct me, I don't think Arsenal gave us a single clear chance from like open play anywhere. Not that I can remember.
No,
So
you had a half chance with Ake from a corner, but that was
from a set piece. Yes,
that was actually a chance. That's not a half chance. That was a clear chance, in my opinion. But it's a set piece.
From a set piece, yeah. That's
fine.
Set
piece, which is something that I'm set piece. But anyway, moving on from Manchester City, we'll talk about them next week when they drop points against Brighton, hopefully, to Liverpool. I had an absolutely horrific stream yesterday with Rack and Mike Das. It was very depressing. It was very depressing. But before we move on, Frank is saying they give a goal kick for that penalty. Shout out to, that was, to be honest, that's one of the worst decisions. And the fact that they didn't go and check the VAR as well, it was absolutely horrendous, in my opinion, because that was clear and obvious that it was a penalty.
It must be embarrassing for him though, because like even like if you take the penalty thing out of it, it so blatantly touched the City player. So the fact he didn't even give a corner for it, and then the VAR saying, "Well, it's hit his hand," so he must have known that he's at least got one thing wrong because he should have given a corner. Never mind a penalty. So yeah, it's just it's doubly embarrassing.
And that's where, by the way, VAR is a broken system in terms of the reason that wasn't given. Realistically, was because the on-field decision was not a penalty. In the same way that the Wan-Bissaka one was given and stayed given because they stick with the on-field decision. But clearly, the on-field decision was wrong. Like, he clearly hadn't seen it because he gave a goal kick. So you can't say, well, he's seen it and he's judged that as not a handball.
Yes.
Because he's not seen the handball, clearly, because he's given a goal kick. So that is something I feel like...
clear and obvious error doesn't make sense because they don't change...
Bro, he didn't see the touch at all. So that means he couldn't judge it, as Rory said. Like, he couldn't judge it and said, I don't think that's a penalty. Well, he didn't see it.
As already said, we don't know what his reaction would have been if he knew it was if it was a corner, it had to hit the City player. Then he would have went, oh, well, then it's a handball then, because if it's hit the City player, it would have hit him there. It's a handball, but he doesn't believe it's hit him, so it's not ruled out. At that point, VAR should step in and go, you might need to look at this because you've made an error in that it's a goal kick, but it's a corner. And if it's a corner, it's then handball because it's hit him there. It's stuff like that. Well, I don't know why I was shocked about the referees. The referees yesterday were horrendous, and Forrester getting flamed for that. I think the statement's mental, but there is also an element of
the statement is
why not? Because the decisions that went against them yesterday. If you want
anybody here believe decisions affect the outcome of a season?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously.
What do you mean?
I mean,
okay, so there is two
little bit of bias there. There
are two schools of looking at it. So LB, for example, I do a weekly show with LB and HUSAM. LB says it always even itself out.
No.
But HUSAM says no. For some reason, City gets the big decisions their way. Right, this is how I look at it, right? Man City, and I said that, right? Lately, Man City, they get the decision their way and then they wait for VAR to correct it or not. Does that make sense? For them or against them? What I mean is that if there is a penalty against City, the referee don't call it and wait for VAR to correct it. If the penalty for them, right? They give the penalty for them and then they wait for VAR to correct it. Against them, they don't give it, right? While for other teams, they don't give the decision and wait for VAR to correct it. Now comes, is it clear and obvious? Was it clear? It happens in Italy all the time. And by the way, this season, it happens to Inter a lot. We would be given the decision our way because we're top of the table, because we're the team who's dominant. So the referees, in their mind, Inter, everything is going our way. Like, for example, our player got clattered. They're like, okay, penalty. And then in the replay says, but the player got the ball first. It's not clear and obvious. Well, against Inter, for example, they wouldn't give the penalty against us. And then they say for the VAR, was it a penalty? VAR would say, well, it's questionable. Well, if you have gotten the penalty, you would not have overturned it. I feel like sometimes that happens.
I can't agree, because I know that there have been many decisions that went against us this season when, in my opinion, they shouldn't have done. It's not, and I disagree with the idea that, you know, some teams are, you know, unfairly prejudiced, or vice versa. You know, they're given preferential treatment. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think that referees are humans. I think that they are liable to make mistakes. I don't think, like, you know, they make bad decisions more consistently depending on like a particular team. Whether it balances out, well, you'd have to go back and tot it all up, wouldn't you? But I don't think there's like a sort of conspiracy against any particular club. I don't think there's anything going in favor of a particular club. Again, like, you know, for every like I don't know what HUSAM, I don't know if HUSAM gives specific examples, but for like every one which he thinks, you know, shouldn't have gone our way, I'm sure I could give you one which was equal to or greater than in that respect.
I think that the idea that it doesn't that it all evens out in the end and it doesn't affect the season, there's not enough games for that to happen. If you played an infinite number of games, it would even itself out. But we played 38 games. Forest are net down on decisions big time already this season, and another 3 have gone against them. In the remaining 5 games, it's not going to even itself
Wolves
out.
as well.
Yeah, Wolves have been done over this season.
I mean, if I want to be biased, I'd love to see when the fuck we're going to get our ones made back up of handballs against Arsenal. The offside. I'm still waiting for me offside against Tottenham to come back, where I get a completely illegitimate goal just given for me randomly, stuff like that.
They can give Spurs the goal against City, and that would even itself out.
Yeah, if they want to do that, that makes up for it. You know, if they want to give
how about Spurs start 1-0 up against City?
Can I just name?
No, I would rather Spurs just get the goal in the 90th.
By the way, I have an explanation for this before you go on, Nobbins, because people think I'm just speaking out of my ass. I actually asked referees here in my league, and they said, for some reason, the team that has the position, it's assumed that the decisions go there. Does that make sense? Like the team that always have the position, it's assumed that they won't commit fouls, that the other team is more aggressive, is more nervous because they want to get the ball back. It's in their mind. That's how referees always see that. You know what I mean? If I have the position all the time and I'm up all the time and I'm the better team on the pitch, why would I tackle? Why would I do that? That always happens. That's why bigger teams, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they get the decisions their way in Spain. That's why that happens. That's the only explanation for it.
Can I ask that, because I can see the chat's asking me to provide a few examples. Again, off the top of my head, the game away against Wolves, their player should have been given a second yellow card.
You scored from a foul on Cunha.
No, Mo. I'm not trying to make an argument that City have had more or less. The chat's asked me for some examples, so I was going to provide some examples. Again, whoever their goal scorer was, he should have been sent off. He should have been given a second yellow card. That's when the score was, I believe, 1-0 to Wolves, or maybe 1-0. So they should have been down to 10 men. There was the infamous one against Spurs when we had a late opportunity to be through on goal, and it was he didn't play the advantage or something like that. Again, I'm not saying that should have resulted in a goal, but people are asking me for decisions that didn't go our way. In my opinion, the goal against Liverpool at home should have been a goal. People disagree. For me, that wasn't a foul. But the difference is, I'm not good. I don't think I've ever been on these shows, Mo, and I've never complained about refereeing decisions, because that's not the point. That I don't find any value in that. Again, the Spurs one, I can't remember if I was on here or if I was on the terrace and someone wanted me to talk about that. And I was like, there's no point in talking about that, because we should have finished our chances. So I don't complain about refereeing decisions, because even the Wolves one, it was in our destiny to win that game. So I'm not going to blame the red card, even though it should have been a red card. It's not interesting to talk about, because the game, City still had 90 minutes to win the game. So I'm not going to complain about it. We should have done better. So yes, there are a number of examples. Those are just off the top of my heads. And they are game changers, because again, if a player's sent off, then that by definition ends the game. If that goal is given, then it changes the game.
Straight, Nobbins. Like, for example, the penalty against Doku on McAllister, for example, that can change the outcome of a season. That particular incident that
No,
can
no,
change the outcome of a season.
I'm not, but Mo, I'm not denying that.
Okay. So you
I-
are.
The one thing I would.
Sorry, Rory, go on.
No, you go on. You were talking.
I was just going to say that I'm not saying that City get preferential treatment. I'm not saying that City don't. I'm just making the point that big decisions have affected City negatively in the same way they have affected us positively. I've no idea if you want to go back and look at the nets, points, whatever. It's an impossible task because you can't possibly know what would happen if that Wolves player sent off, or let's play the reverse card. Kovacic should have got sent off at the Emirates, obviously. Now, common sense would dictate that, well, obviously Arsenal go on and win that game 3-0. But I could sit here and go, well, we don't know. Maybe City camp defensively in the last minute. They get a goal on the counter-attack and win the game. Like it's an impossible thing. And that's why I don't like really talking about refereeing decisions, because it's for me, it's too much of an easy scapegoat. Unless it's something horrendously external like that Liverpool Spurs one, which was just mental. But even then, that happened early enough in the game for something else to happen. Again, for me, sorry, Rory, go on. Yeah, I've
No, I was going to say, I do agree with that, though, that we do often, we say, well, if that decision had happened, you just add the goal or take the goal away and then just assume that would be the result.
Never that simple.
Like, the Liverpool Spurs game, I really think Liverpool would have lost that game even if the Luis Diaz goal had stood. We don't know for sure. We will never know.
And we never will know, yeah.
But there's an idea that Liverpool would have won that game if that goal had stood. And Liverpool fans say, well, that should have been
I don't think we would have won, but I think we would have got a draw out of it. Because I don't like to say it like with you. You don't just add the goal on, but I do think you can apply stats elsewhere for that. So Liverpool have not lost a game this season in the Premier League where they've scored first. So once we take the lead, we might draw the game, especially down to 10 men. But I certainly don't think we get the second yellow card or the second red card. Sorry, because I don't think Jota does half the stupid shit he does, which even then wearing a red card. But we normally typically just hold on pretty well. We've had some horrible ones go against us. Obviously, that Diaz one was the exception, i.e. a complete, utter factual error occurred. I don't think that's ever happened before, bar the offside for Arsenal Brentford last year. That hadn't happened again this season. Obviously, that people were going about the Odegaard handball or the Doku, the Doku kick in the chest. The Doku one could have changed the game because it was the last minute of the game. It's not like there was time afterwards for, let's say we scored, City's a goal at the other end and Camp was back for 5 minutes to score, necessarily. But the Arsenal one, it's hard to say because we did score the next attack afterwards when Trent played it up. So stuff like that which can swing in. I don't like to look back at a season and say, not getting the referee decision is why we lost the league. It's not. You didn't win the league because you weren't good enough over 38 games.
I agree.
So, just because we didn't get a penalty against Man City doesn't explain why we lost to Palace or we
But if you lose it with 1 point or 2 points, come on, Tom. You cannot tell me that decision doesn't
would I be annoyed? Yeah, but I can only in the nice possible way. If it doesn't balance out, I disagree with LB when he says it bounces out because it doesn't balance out because some teams will end net with. Wolves are not going to get enough this season to where they go, you know what, VAR was all right to us this year because of the amount of shit they've been thrown. It doesn't balance out, but ultimately, it's not the reason that we didn't go across the line because I was quite happy with our performance against City. I was disappointed with how we played against Palace, how we played against Brentford away, Brighton away, against Luton away. They're the games that let you down, not a draw 1-1 at City where we could have got a pen. Who knows? We might have missed it. We could well have missed it. You know, Salah was on the pitch at that point, so he would have taken the pen. If you know me, I fucking hate Salah's penalties because they're not good. He doesn't take them correctly. So we don't know how it was going to go on. The one that I will look back on and say I do think we would have got at least a point out of was Tottenham, just because I've got statistical evidence that can sort of line up and say, well, we probably would have left with a point at least. I'm not saying we would have won, because again, it's hard to hold out for 60 odd minutes with 10 men. But I do think we would have held out long enough to get a draw. And who knows, you might even went up the other end and still got that free kick goal and stuff. So that's the only game that I hold a little bit of weight with. But I can't have a go at City over that, or I can't have a go at Arsenal over that. I have a go at the idiotic people in VAR who cannot communicate a correct decision.
The thing I'd say with City is, City I don't feel like City ever get any real howlers against them. Like, they might get a couple of decisions in a season where it's 50-50 and it's gone wrong, but they get a lot of howlers that go for them, and not the only howler I can think that went against them was that Rashford goal in the derby.
Yeah, that was a
which should have been
howler.
offside.
Yeah.
That was a howler. But other than that, and then I look at ones like was it Akanji offside or Ake that was offside, stood in offside position?
Yeah, the
and goal
Akanji was
disallowed?
offside on the ball. Yes.
Where you've
Yeah.
seen ones more recently that were far less obstructive than Akanji was that haven't been ruled out. I think you got 2 penalties in the space of like 3 weeks against United and Chelsea for the most minor grabbing in the box, and we've seen so many of them not given after that, and none of them given for it. So there are ones like that. The biggest thing that annoys me about City, though, is the number of yellow cards that they avoid. That's the number one thing that I think is, across a whole season, the number of tactical fouls, like the fact that Rodri isn't on 10 bookings yet, is horrific. Like, genuinely horrific for the number of times that he stops players on the break. And then the opposition to Man City will do it once and they'll get a booking for it. And I think it's because the subconscious of the referee is Man City are the attacking team,
Yes.
the other team are the defending team. And so that's how it works. But the lack of yellows that City gets gets frustrating.
We
Me,
spent
you
12
can
minutes on referees, but fine. 13.
Last thing I want to say is, all you can do as a football team is control your controllables.
Yeah.
Jackson could control his ability to finish, one of those chances. Chilwell could control his own ability to look up and see that if he just plays that cross early, then whoever was making that run goes in first.
Chilwell's just not very good at football.
Sure.
That's the problem with him.
But you see the point, like, and it happened a number of times where all Chelsea had to do was play like an early cross, and it would be a tap-in or a 1v1. Now they can control that. They can't control whether he thinks a penalty or not, and it almost certainly is. Chelsea can't control whether the referee makes an incorrect decision. So is it like ultimately a fair situation? No, but this is the reality of the sport we're in. You can only control your controllables. And once again, this is why when I consider my team, even if there is an egregious refereeing error given against us, and it has happened a number of times this season, as I've discussed, my first thing will not be to complain about the referees. It will be, yeah, it's disappointing the decision wasn't given, but we could control the outcome if we just finished better, or if we defended better. So the book stops with the team, in my opinion, not the referees.
All right. Guys, like the video if you're here. Liverpool, yesterday, back to winning ways. Back to winning ways. Resting players, look all right. You don't look bad. It's the status of the squad and the status of the club. Like, why are Liverpool looking at next season already? And who do you think, like, I want to get to the point of who do you think will manage Liverpool if it's not Amorim next season? There are rumors that he's not.
I don't know. I won't be watching football. If it's not Amorim, I'm not watching football. I'll go watch darts. Quite good. The golf is also getting good. We're getting this major season now. I've got stuff to watch if it's not Amorim. No, yesterday was a good win. Yesterday was very much by the
Trent is back to
impressive.
his best, to be honest.
Yesterday showcased why anyone who said, "Oh, Trent needs to earn his spot back," is a little bit stupid. It's a little bit of a stupid thing to suggest.
Who was saying
Trent
that?
Alexander-Arnold needs to earn his spot back.
By the way, this was a say going that Conor Bradley is playing very well, and Trent needs to earn his spot back.
This is like at the start of the season when Alvarez was scoring, and people were like, "How's Kevin De Bruyne going to get back into this team?" He's Kevin De Bruyne. It's Trent. Of course, he's going to get back into the team.
Yes, we're on about some of the best players in their position, arguably in league history here. They're not going to be benched for a 22-year-old for the rest of the season. It's not what happens. He was great. I thought Quansah was very good. I think Quansah should probably start the majority of our games around the season because he actually can pass the ball. Canate can't. And when you're up against teams that want to sit back, you need centre-backs who can pass the ball. That was our issue against Atalanta. That was our issue against Atalanta. That second half against Atalanta, where we had 2 shots because we couldn't get out. The ball would go to Canate and they wouldn't press him because he can't pass the ball through the lines. So they were happy to let him have the ball. The attack, Jota's just Jota. If that man could stay fit, he'd be in conversations for the best striker in the league every year. What in front of goal, he's a joke.
Kind of a stretch, but fine.
No, he's got 10 goals and like 20 appearances this season. and half of them have been off the bench. Like, he just cannot stay fit. If he could stay fit and could start more games, he scores in every game pretty much that we need him to. He turns up when I need him to. Gakpo, I think, has been very good as well recently. I thought yesterday was another solid performance.
Yeah, Gakpo is starting his purple patch at the end of the season like last season as well. It happens.
No, Gakpo is actually getting played in his natural position, and you now see why you spent the money on him. Shock when you put a left winger in the left wing, he starts playing well. Not when you put the left winger in centre mid or right wing. But yeah, I'm just happy. There's still a couple of holes in that performance.
Do you think that team needs a rebuild into next season? How many positions do you think you need?
I'm going on the base that Amorim comes in. I'm not even discussing what happens if he doesn't come in because I will cry. If Amorim comes in, you need a left centre back, probably 2 centre backs, but definitely one as a left footer. A left wing back, because just the sooner I get rid of the Simicast, the better. A DM, and depending on who goes in the attack, an attacker. If it's just Diaz, I don't need one. But if it's a Salah as well, which it shouldn't be, but if it's Salah or if it's a Gakpo or something, I'm going to need another one then.
You guys don't think Salah should be sold already? Done? Like he's
no.
Done?
Why? No, I've had this argument so many times over the last week. All I will say is at the start of the season, when the man wasn't injured and didn't have AFCON, when he left the Premier League, he was the top scorer, the top assister, and the favourite for Premier League Player of the Year. He came back after 2 months out. In his first game back, he became the top scorer, the top assister, and once again remind everyone why he was the favourite for Premier League Player of the Year. And then he got injured again, so he missed the next month. And then he's been in bad form in the last 6 games. Oh no, it's not. But Liverpool in that time have been playing so well. We've been the best team in the world, haven't we? That's why we've won 1 game. He's not been bad while we've been good. He's been bad while we've been bad. He's not stuck out like a sore thumb. He is still a joke of a footballer. He's still, even when he's played bad, got 5 goals and assists in 6 games, winning us at least 4 points just off of them alone. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, he would have got an assist if Darwin Núñez was anything like Luis Diaz and threw himself at the cross. But Darwin Núñez decided to run. If he'd have just jumped or done what Diaz does, which is sliding at it, he'd tap it in at the back post, but he didn't do that. I don't see why we should get rid of Mo Salah, especially as you're going into a time of the biggest overhaul we've seen in 9 years at Liverpool. I don't want to get rid of my only consistent forward. Who
don't change too much too soon.
15, 20. Yeah, I don't want to get rid of my only forward who can guarantee me 20 goals a season. Yeah. I can't justify that. If Klopp was still here next year, then maybe I could. But I can't get rid of Klopp and then go to a completely new system and then go, right, the guy who for the past 7 years has been your top scorer every single year and your top assister for all but 3 of those years. Yeah, you don't have him anymore. Enjoy. It doesn't work like that. Maybe after a year of Amorim coming in and settling down and figuring it out, you could let him go.
I just want the kids in Egypt to eat. So I want him to get the money in Saudi Arabia. That's what I want.
He'll get the money in Saudi Arabia eventually. Don't worry.
So the kids will have to wait 1 more year to eat.
Perform. Yeah, so what? If it wins me a Premier League title, it wins me a Premier League title.
Premier League title? You think you're gonna win the Premier League title next season?
No.
No, I just want to make sure that you aren't.
I just look at it like this.
You didn't take the Amorim hype to that level yet.
No. Amorim first year would just be about getting top 4, giving me a good run in the Champions League, show me what he's about, and then after the first year, it's about right now you need to challenge. Now you need to get.
If Amorim doesn't go to Liverpool, you think you have who's your second?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. I don't know.
I actually believe that Liverpool went for Amorim because of you, like your PR.
Yeah, because I'm expecting 5%.
I believe
I'm expecting 5% commission when he signs.
He's invested in Amorim stocks.
Well, I genuinely believe that Tom is the one who started this Amorim hype, and then when Klopp announced,
and he's an industry
people looked around and they're like, "Okay, there is this Amorim thing on Twitter, and everyone's talking about this guy. We should just go and check him out."
Look, I don't think he's not going to come to us. I think that we've done a lot of the work already. I just think that whilst they're in a title challenge and it's not wrapped up yet, and whilst our season's still going on, nothing's going to be announced. I also don't know who else the club would go for after that, because every other manager that name gets thrown out there, they all have major flaws. that don't align with what FSG
I don't know a
wants
lot
to do
about
at Liverpool.
Amorim, but I'm assuming that he doesn't have flaws based on what you say.
All I know is he
No,
lost
yeah,
5-0 to Man City. That's all I
He
know.
did, yeah. He did. He also drew 0-0 with Man City, though.
He
So
knocked out Arteta last
Crazy.
season, so
Crazy.
good
he
for
beat
him.
he beat Tottenham as well last year. Like he's got Amorim isn't the ideal one. The ideal one would have been Alonso. He is in terms of everything by what people look at in a one season thing. He's the best. But Amorim for me has done it over a longer period of time. And in terms of what Liverpool wants, he just ticks all them boxes. I've seen like Nico Kovac, the same guy who got sacked from Bayern after a year because
Kovac's
he
the
wasn't very
Bayern
good.
Munich guy.
Yes, the same guy that couldn't hack it at AS Monaco as well. Apparently, he's in there.
You know, there's a
Thomas
shout
Frank.
for Emery to Liverpool.
No, Unai Emery is a B club manager, not an A club manager. His style of management lasts with B clubs, not A clubs. Hence why every
Rory,
single
don't you
time
think
he's
like
into an A.
Unai Emery
Where?
would work in a big club?
Nah, I've seen it.
So you don't think if he was given a chance at Arsenal, he would have turned it around?
No.
You guys,
And he
I-
won't-
I-
I like Unai.
I like
don't
him.
think
I think
Unai's
he's
you know
done a
why
great job at
Arsenal
Villa.
fans hate him because like
I don't hate him at all. I wish him all the best. Genuinely wish him all the best. I just don't think it would have ever worked at Arsenal. I truly don't.
I'm seeing like Tuchel as well. There's been stuff about go get Thomas Tuchel. No,
if Tuchel takes over,
He
like
told me Tuchel.
genuinely, one of the most flawed reasonings I ever saw was he's got a good record against Real Madrid, so we should hire a new manager on the off chance if we get into the Champions League quarterfinals we draw Real Madrid. Bin the league off, bin any sort of cup off, but if we get Real Madrid in the Champions League, we've got
we'll
their
win.
number.
We'll
We've
win.
got their number. No. Arne Slot was another one as well. Like he's like just a worse version of Amorim, and he's from the Dutch league, which is wildly more inconsistent than the Portuguese league when it comes to Liverpool in terms of recruitment and stuff recently. So again, I don't like that. I don't see why the club will go for anyone but Amorim. I just think there's external circumstances that are stopping us from fully announcing it and stuff. So yeah, I'm not worried in that sense, and I think he'd do very well with the squad. I think his style of management suits this team, but I'm not expecting a major overhaul this summer. Certainly not. I think you address a couple of key areas which need additions, and then the focus on keeping your best players around.
Do you believe Liverpool can win all the games, the remaining games in the league?
Yeah,
I
it won't be
think every
pretty.
team drops points.
Say that again.
I-
One of you guys talk.
I think every team drops points at least once.
No. Villa away is the one that worries me, but beyond that, I think we win them all. It's not going to be pretty. We are going to play some horrendous football during it. We're going to look awful whilst doing it. But I do think that we could just get over the line because we've got 3 home games out of the 5, isn't it? Is it 3? No, it's 2. Fuck, I forgot West Ham was away. Oh, West Ham at 12:30.
Yeah, but have you seen West Ham play football recently?
Yes,
There's no way
Paquetá
you lose.
will.
Oh yeah, West Ham. play
Lucas
football.
Paquetá dagger.
No, they're horrific. They
His
are.
last
Well,
actually
actually,
was
I think
signed
we
for
get over the line
City.
against Everton. I don't know why I think we get over the line against Everton because it's Everton, but I do think we get over the line against Everton. West Ham could go either way. West Ham could be very good or very bad. Tottenham, we should get the job done at home, especially with their high line. We have players who, yes, they can't score, but they can get in behind high lines and give it to the players who can score. So that's what it's about. Villa away is another side that can be hot or cold. But my hope is that they will be in a Conference League semi-final and their spot in top 4 will be secure at that point, or pretty much secure at that point, so they rotate against us. And then
Who's?
Villa's. So if we beat Tottenham, and I'm assuming one of you two will beat them as well. I think they take points off one of us, but I'm assuming that they lose to the away game and then maybe it's against City, they pick up a draw or something. But I'm hoping that by that point, Villa's place is pretty much secure and then they can rest players for that Conference League semi-final or stuff. So, and then you got Wolves last day of the season, which, again, just because it's at home, you should get the job done in. So, I think we could do. It won't be pretty, but I think we could do. But yeah, I'm hoping that.
I think if you beat Everton, you're gonna win every game.
You should beat Everton. That's the issue. You should 100% beat Everton because they now have no fit striker. Calvert-Lewin had to go off, and then Beto went off. So Calvert-Lewin started the game, went off injured with his hamstring, then Beto got knocked out in the game. so he had to go off injured as well. So they now have no fit
I
striker.
really hope that we sit here next week. We're talking about Arsenal and Liverpool.
I'm not
actually
here next
having a
week. By the
chance.
way, I hope everyone knows I'm not here next week if we lose to Everton. There's one game that I will never turn up for if we lose, and that's Everton. I simply cannot bring myself. I go into hiding if we lose to Everton. Simple as. You don't see anything on social media. You don't see anything. If you message me, silence. I do not talk for a week.
No, I
after
really
losing.
hope that City drop points against Brighton and just 2 points and everybody in the same points by next week. Everybody's
but by the time we're next here, we've all played twice. We've all got
and they
midweek
played
and the
and they
weekend.
played twice as well, so they are 1 game behind.
No, because their game in hand is Tottenham.
No, that game in hand's later. We all play twice this week. Arsenal play Chelsea tonight and then play Spurs at the weekend.
Well, you play Chelsea tomorrow, don't you? And you're lucky as well.
Tomorrow,
you're
yeah.
lucky because Cole Palmer's now missing the game apparently because he's ill, and Gusto's out injured. So the only 2 Chelsea players who can do anything somewhat decent now can't play against Arsenal.
No, you'll be
They
1 game
hand
ahead
over.
only, Rory. You'll be 1 game ahead only. Not
No, but
2.
what I'm saying is by the time we next speak, we'll all, because Arsenal
We'll
are
all
already a
play
game
2
ahead of
games.
Man City.
Yeah, so you will be 1 game ahead as well. I hope that you're 1 game
Yeah.
ahead with 4 points.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
3 points. 3 points.
Yeah. I'm just saying for that to happen, we'll have had to have beaten Chelsea.
I would
and
love
Spurs.
this season to end with all the teams on the same points, and then it ends.
Yeah,
in
because
goal
you've
difference.
not got a dog in the race. All 3 of us will hate every
He
single
does.
minute of that.
He's got an anti-City dog, to be fair.
Bro, I'm very clear about this. I want either Arsenal or Liverpool to win the league. Not
That's
because
what I'm saying. You've got an anti-City
not
dog.
because I hate Man City. Because
I didn't say that's why, but it is a fact you have an anti-City dog in this race.
yeah, if it was Aston Villa, if it was anyone, I would have whatever. 4 league titles, guys. Okay, I just want you to imagine. I want you to imagine the summer where City won 4 league titles, and they're going to get Kimmich, Paqueta, and probably a defender and a midfielder. What's the content gonna be? Who's gonna be second next season? Is that gonna be the content that
We're gonna have content we're gonna for the past 3 years, Mo.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, who's
one.
gonna be second? Who's gonna be second next season? Is it Arsenal with Arteta or it's gonna be Amorim with Liverpool? That's gonna be content. I'm like, okay.
It's
so
gonna be
what?
the only thing that would change is City aren't gonna have the chance to 5-piece. It'll be City have the chance to take the title back.
Let's
That's all
imagine
it'll be.
Arteta winning the league this season. It'll be like, couple of things. Arteta beat Pep and he matched Jurgen Klopp's legacy. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much to talk about in the summer. We can spend the summer talking about this and Arsenal incomings and who's leaving and all this stuff and Jurgen Klopp and his failure at Liverpool. If Liverpool win the league, we're like, Jurgen Klopp should have had more league titles than Pep if it wasn't for Rodri's handball. If it wasn't for you know what I mean? We can have this conversation. If City win the league, I think it's dead. I think the Premier League is dead. And that's because he's good. Not because he's good, bro. Because I paint the picture of like content. 3 months or 2 months in the summer.
You cannot bet against Pep Guardiola, though, Mo. I have tried this time and time and time again. You go insane. You lose your mind. You start sitting there and picking out Leander Dendoncker to be the difference maker just for Wolves so they concede 5. This is what happens. You go down a deep spiral where you start betting against Pep Guardiola, and time again, he goes against you. I've now just resigned myself to whatever will happen, and Pep will find a way to win. It's stupid. It's horrible, but Pep finds a way to win.
Big up.
And the issue is, the only thing that could stop them is when they play Brighton, the fatigue and everything really catches up to them, and some people get injured. That's the only way.
Crazy. Tom asking for injuries. Tom, again, excited at the prospect of injuries. Cancel this, man. Disgusting behavior.
I said I have resigned myself to we all play our games, and at the end, Pep finds a way to win. That's what it is.
I still believe Arsenal have a good chance of winning this league, to be honest.
Of course they do. So do Liverpool.
Not Liverpool as much as Arsenal in my
tears. Absolute tears. Yeah, get in the mud. Get in the mud.
Whoa.
Tom, you can't fight back now. You've just been negative.
Bro, you literally just gave us a monologue about that Pep wins at the end, and then you want to sit here and say,
I'm not gonna fight against City, but against Arsenal. Against Arsenal. I can fight against Arsenal. I've got a dog in the race there. My team got experience. My team got world-class players. Arsenal might play better football, but we've got the guys who turn up in the big moments.
Yeah,
You have Super
Arsenal,
Mikel
Arsenal
Arteta,
have
though.
horrendous, like Chelsea, Spurs away, and Man United away.
No problem.
United away is just it's
United
so
away just
settled
is
for that
not in that
Nice,
horrendous.
as
category.
the most unexpected game in the Premier League.
No, no.
You just
I'm
know what
more-
it's set up for.
I'm more worried about Bournemouth at home than United away.
Oh my god!
Oh,
How?
famous
I-
last
How,
words.
Rory? How?
You know,
Yeah.
you know, Rory. I remember when I
You've
was like
seen
that,
United
and then
play football.
I remember when I was like that, Rory, and then they fucking take something off you. They
Man
play
United have
shit
one
and they get
fit-
results.
Man United
Exactly, Tom. They play
Man United-
absolute
no.
garbage football.
Man United have one fit centre back, and it's Harry Maguire, and he said he's playing through an injury. Well, we are not dropping points at Old Trafford. It can't happen.
He's jinxed
No
it now,
chance.
boys.
He's really just.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as jinxes. I mean, don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, in before United win 1-0. Last minute, Amad Diallo dagger.
No,
He lifts up his shirt. That's for Rory.
no.
No, you know what
Honestly.
it'll be. United will play crap. They'll play horrendously, but they will just find a way. They won't beat them. They won't beat them. But they'll get the shittiest, fucking luckiest Jagar straw that you could imagine. And because
No.
it's the second to last game of the season as well for Arsenal, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
second or third last. It means
Second.
even more then, and the pressure will be even more on Arsenal. And United ultimately have nothing really about it because I got an FA Cup final. I'm not going to get Champions League now because there's only 4 spots. So Champions League's gone. Comes down to for United.
They might still be
can we
fighting.
win
They
the
might
FA
still
Cup?
be fighting just to get into Europa, though. To be fair.
They win the FA Cup. They're in Europa, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but they're not going
So-
to do that.
Well, they're up
It's
against
more
City,
likely that they
and-
qualify
They're up
through the
against
league.
City, and City are tired, and City can't. Oh, didn't rotate his players, so now they're all tired. Oh, Paul Mateus Nunes getting 0 minutes. Coventry's getting 8.
Right, let me do
Oscar Bob
this.
getting 11.
Sean is saying clubs should be able to send referees to the monitor twice. That's American football stuff. Yellow, the flag, the red flag. And
Yeah.
Elburn is saying high point that after Goodison will go to shit again. Bro, I actually disagree. I think you win every game if you win at Goodison Park. Genuinely, I think so. But back to Arsenal and this Saka tire thing, Rory.
Mm.
I believe he should have been benched. You didn't need him against Wolves. You didn't. He should have been benched. He looks tired. He looked very tired, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he is. I think you look at the number of minutes he's played, not just this season, but last season and the season before that. You know, he set a record of like 87 consecutive Premier League games. For a player of his age, with the out of possession work that he's asked to do in terms of the defense, I think it's too much. And in a game like that, you know, I just don't think we can complain. I think that's the big thing. I don't like seeing Arteta coming out and talking about the fixture congestion and the schedules in a game where Saka played the full 90, Ødegaard played the full 90, and players like Fabio Vieira, Smith Rowe, Reece Nelson don't touch the pitch. It's, you know, what is the point in having that depth if you're not going to use it? So I don't really have any sympathy. I think we should, realistically, I think we should bench him in the Bournemouth game. I think that's the only other opportunity we've got to bench him. But I don't think we will. And, you know, what can you do about that? But we can't use it as an excuse. That's the big thing.
Yeah, it's weird. And it's like I don't know. I know Arteta comes from the Pep school of thinking, so maybe it's like, you know, like a master, like apprentice. Yeah, it is an odd one. Like the Saka one, you know, there's some like mental data on the amount of minutes he's played. Like it's just not. Unless he's like some sort of physical phenom, which he might be, to be fair, it's just not sustainable. Like in respect of like the amount of minutes, you look at like that list of, you know, minutes from like, you know, players under 21 or whatever. And outside of some physical outliers, like, you know, Cristiano Ronaldo, who's like a freak, whatever, there are other names on there like Michael Owen and Wayne Rooney and Neymar and all these players who all have the same association of getting to sort of like, you know, late 20s, early 30s, and then just burning out, getting horrendous injuries over and over again. Rory, what's like your preferred, let's say, you know, Saka, you need to rest Saka now because you don't really have an out-and-out backup right winger. You've got lots of utility players. Now, for me, your best backup right winger is Gabriel Jesus, probably. What's your take on that, though? Like, who is the best Saka backup currently at Arsenal, do you think?
Yeah, I think it probably is Jesus. The closest, and it's just not even remotely like for like, but the closest other alternative is Fabio Vieira in terms of a left-footed player, but that's a completely different player.
Tom Laughing.
Tom's laughing. Yeah, but that's the issue, right? And even Gabriel Jesus now, I'm rapidly becoming more concerned about Jesus's lack of pace. You talk about a player losing a yard, he's lost a mile of pace at this point, and that becomes a real problem as well. And yeah, I don't know what the solution. I mean, the solution is that we go and buy someone this summer that can act as both the backup to Saka and realistically Martinelli. But for now, I just think you're playing him into the ground. He's then going to go and play the Euros. We're back. I think the gap between the end of the Euros, if England were to get to the final, and Arsenal's first pre-season game against Man United, I think it's like 12 days or something. Like it's insane. And so I do worry. And people mock him for limping, right? If you follow Arsenal, and I go to every home game and I wait whilst the players walk around the pitch up. Saka limps after every game. Good game, bad game, win, draw, loss. Saka for the last 3 or 4 months has limped after every single game. So clearly there's an issue. Apparently it's his Achilles. We don't know for sure, but when's he even going to get the time to rest it? It's insane. And yeah, I don't know what the solution is. But even City do it, right? City have more depth than we do. But even you still do it with players like Rodri, Bernardo Silva more recently.
I was going to say Bernardo Silva. Like Pep came out in an interview and said he basically when asked like why to keep playing him, he said I love him. I just feel so much more secure when he's on the pitch because of X, Y, Z. Because he's obviously like this ridiculously versatile utility player. So yeah, I appreciate that managers have that. Arsenal with Saka, City with Bernardo, City with Rodri as well. But I mean, it's a squad game at the end of the day. It's bordering on negligence. Like if what you say is like correct, and it's like Saka's limping every single game, and like no one will know his situation more so than Arteta. I feel like there are a number of games this season where he could have either come off early or maybe not started. Like against Brighton away, for example. Like he didn't need to start that game, for example. And yeah, again, like you go back to that list.
I think the worry as well with Saka is it's such a I'm sure Roddy can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's his Achilles that's been the problem all season. That's a dangerous part of the body if it goes, because you lose a lot if that Achilles goes. The Achilles ended Kobe's career in basketball. The Achilles I'm pretty sure it was one of Robbie Fowler's problems, and he just wasn't the same after that. There's been other massive footballers who I just can't remember off the top of my head who've had Achilles problems. It's a dangerous thing to lose, especially if it goes at such a young age. You'd surely want to manage that. And it's not just Saka who's got these issues. I know that Ben White's apparently played through, John Barnes, yes. Ben White's played through a lot of injury issues this season. Martinelli's had injury problems this season. Jesus, I'm shocked Declan Rice hasn't had more injury problems with the amount he's played and the amount of physical battles he gets involved in. He might just be trying to, he might be carrying one that there's not really been talked about. Odegaard as well. There's another one who plays a lot of minutes. The worry I would have is you might get through this season and then it just gets to one season where it all just hits at the same time and you're going into games with 6 of your best players not available and you're sitting there going, how's this happened?
Yeah.
What's gone on here? So that's got to be the worry for Arsenal, that if Arteta doesn't get the squad management side of things down quickly, you could throw away an entire... Now, I'm not saying that it'll be next season, but eventually you could throw away an entire season because everyone's body just conks out at the same time and you're sitting there with no one available. And Saka's got to be the big worry. Even for people who are England fans, there's got to be a bit of worry there because if the Achilles goes, real problems.
Can I drive the conversation into a different element? Because we all know that Saka is being run to the ground. I really lately have been thinking about this for a while now. Should Saka be the guy that Arsenal build around? Should he be the superstar? That's very questionable, by the way. Do you
should be
guys
the
know what I'm
attacker they build
talking
around.
about? Do you know, guys? Real Madrid built around Vinny after Ronaldo left. Vinny was the guy who was everything, even Benzema, by the way. He was the superstar, but it was, you guys get what I mean. Benzema was teaching Vinny how to be the superstar. Everything goes towards Vinny. Well, Phil Foden now, it looks like he's going to be the next big thing. Like, he's being molded to be the guy, and we build around him. Liverpool had Salah, but Liverpool was kind of different at Salah, Mane, and Firmino. But we all knew that Salah was the guy, right? And now it's Trent coming in. Everything goes through Trent. Should Saka be that guy? The Saka has it in him to be the guy that Arsenal, or Saka can be just a Mane for
He's,
that.
he's the best attacker for them to build around in terms of out of the ones that are there now. Martinelli, Trossard, Jesus.
Yeah, but
Saka's
should
the
they go
attacker you
and
build
buy?
around.
Okay, so that's
But
the
I
question,
think the
should
Arsenal
they,
build.
should they buy a superstar? Should they buy
No,
like
no.
their
Arsenal should
young
build around their
Brazilian or
core.
young English
Arsenal
guy?
should build around their core of four, which is Saliba, Gabriel. Although I think Gabriel is probably the most expendable. Saliba, Gabriel, Rice, Odegaard. That's the four that I think you have to build around. Build up that strong core. Make yourselves a defensively solid team. Saka is the attacker that you want to keep around, and he's the guy that can do it all for you, because Martinelli last year scored more goals but had infinitely less assists and wasn't creating the chances. If you're going to build around an attacker, they need to do everything. They need to be able to, if they can't score, get an assist. If they can't assist, get a goal. Saka can do that. Martinelli can't. Martinelli struggled this season for a variety of reasons. Is Saka the best player that Arsenal should be definitely building around? No, I think Saliba and Rice and Odegaard are the three ones I'd have ahead of him. I think Odegaard is really, really good. A little bit on the older side of it, like, so I don't know how long they can, in terms of building around for a decade sort of thing. But Rice and Saliba, that core there, that duo together, that could be one that you go around. I think a lot of teams now are starting to move away from building their sides around attackers, because ultimately there's a lot of decent attackers now. If you can get the game-changing midfielder or the game-changing defender, that's where it, blows up big time. I mean, even with us, Mo, you said, we had Salah, Mane, Firmino. Van Dijk was the guy that changed it all for us. Van Dijk was the guy we ended up kind of building around, because he was the lead at that back. I think with City it was Kevin De Bruyne. Then it was I think this season, even though Foden's been there, last two seasons really, it's been Rodri that the team's been built around to ensure that he can do his best work, which therefore means the team does their best work. I think a lot of people moving away from an attacker as the guy, and I think Arsenal have Rice, Saliba, Odegaard. They're the guys you build around. Saka's a very good attacker to have.
No, my point is, I think. Go ahead, Rory. But I just want to correct something. Last season, by the way, it wasn't built around Rodri. Rodri was the main clog in there. The whole system last season for Man City, it was catered for one player. It's Erling Haaland. They changed every way. They changed everything they play for Haaland to tap it at the net.
I
I'm not
disagree.
saying you build the team around Haaland, but what I mean is that you build your system for Erling Haaland to get 50 goals.
No, but I don't think the system. I don't think the system complemented it.
Played for Lewandowski to score goals.
I don't think City's system complemented Haaland last year. And Haaland done very well. I'm not discrediting that, but I don't think City used Haaland to his full effectiveness in terms of there was a lot of games where they
36 goals in the league.
Yes, because Erling Haaland is an exceptional finisher, but I'm sure Nobbins can back me up here. City didn't go in behind all the time, and that's where Haaland's strength was. A lot of Haaland's goals came when he was able to get over, when the ball was played over the top. I think Ederson done it a lot. Ederson would send a long ball up, Haaland would run off the shoulder, and he'd be in behind. It was quick, incisive. That's not necessarily what City's system was built around at points. Haaland done what he done because he's an exceptional finisher. But if you're talking about City building their system around him, it would be Kevin De Bruyne getting the ball and going straight away, bang, in behind for Haaland to chase, and straight away in behind. They'd be using the wingers a lot less, and it'd just be get the ball to Haaland, get the ball to Foden, get the ball to Bernardo in the middle, straight in behind.
No, I don't think City didn't go long that. City didn't do that last season a lot.
No, there's a difference between long and direct.
Haaland scored the most one-touch goals last season.
Sorry, Tom.
City always done that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They got a number 9 whose conversion rate is definitely better than Sterling at the back post.
Yes, but then that shows that the system wasn't catered to him because
It
they didn't
was.
change.
It was a striker. They were clapping for Jack Grealish for
because,
passing
no,
back
because to me,
because they didn't
Casey
want an output from a
he comes
winger.
in. No, because City didn't necessarily change how they built up because they were doing the same things. It was just a guy there who was better. But it was still the same style of build-up. It was still the same ways and avenues of building up attacks, which I felt wasn't the most effective for Haaland.
Yeah.
Haaland done what he done because he's exceptional.
We sidetracked a little bit. Like, going back to Bukayo Saka, and the reason why I'm saying this, I believe Saka has the talent and everything, but I just believe it's too much.
I disagree. In my opinion, we haven't built around Bukayo Saka, and this was even last season. This was the pattern. We've built around the right hand side, so we've built around Saliba, Ødegaard, and Bukayo Saka. Ben White, I think, is to some degree expendable. I think Jurriën Timber could have played a lot of that role this season, but Saliba, Ødegaard, and Saka are the three that we've built around. And the way the system is meant to work is that right hand side occupies so much of the opposition team that you leave Martinelli exposed on the other side, one-on-one, and that's why Martinelli scored so many goals last season. For me, the issue this season has been that teams have committed a lot of players to our right-hand side in terms of nullifying Saka and Ødegaard, but we haven't exploited that on the other side. I think part of that is because we lost Granit Xhaka and didn't replace him. I think part of that is because we've had various different players playing at left back all season, and we've not really found the right balance on that side. So I think going forwards, it will continue that right-hand side is the focal point of the team, and Bukayo Saka is part of that. The big change, I think, next season will be having a proper structure on the left-hand side that means we can exploit the space when it opens up over there. But in terms of his ability, yeah, I absolutely think Bukayo Saka is good enough to be part of that focal point.
I think if Bukayo Saka plays for Real Madrid, for example, he would have had a better season than what he has at Arsenal, for example, because there's not much pressure on him and not everything is going through him.
Yeah, I
genuinely think that the fact that Martinelli is having a stinker of a season because of injuries, whatever the circumstances are, and Arteta is like, well, instead of replacing Martinelli with someone else, we're just gonna play on the right side for the majority.
But then it's interesting you say that.
The field is really looking like this. The fact that he played Kivior is like he gave up on the left side. He literally gave up on that. He's like, whatever happens at left, as long as we don't concede from the left, well, just everything goes through the right side.
Yeah, but then I guess the counter is, and it might have changed over the last couple of weeks, but certainly up until a couple of weeks ago, Bukayo Saka's output was higher than Vinicius Junior or Rodrigo's in both the Champions League and the league. So I still don't think he's been. I feel
Bukayo Saka hasn't had a bad. I never said that it's had a bad season.
No, but what I'm saying
it's a sign of a good player. If a player is on the eye, isn't having a great season, but is still having the output, that's a sign of a very mature player. By the way, people think about it the other way around. If Mohamed Salah isn't having a good season and he's having 20 goals, well, what if he has a good season then? In your eyes, what do you think he's gonna do? I actually think forget the performances as long as you get in the output. But I believe that same as Haaland this season. A lot of Man City fans are like, oh, Haaland's not having the best season, but he's still top of the goal scoring charts. What if he's having a good season? What are you gonna say then? But still, I believe there is so much pressure on that 22 years old because people think that, oh, Bukayo Saka has a lot of experience. Yes, he played 200 games for Arsenal. 22 years old, being run to the ground. Every single play is going through the guy. Every single play. And the oppositions know exactly what is happening at Arsenal. Pass. Let's get it to Bukayo Saka so he can do a combination with Ben White and Ødegaard. And hopefully that they will get behind. And I'm like, okay, can we change it now? Is this something else can happen?
Yeah. But I think that's why we need to change the left-hand side. And we also need, for me, Victor Gyökeres through the middle. Because the amount of play that should be going through to a central striker, and like Havertz has impressed me, but he's not that serious clinical striker that we need. And I think Saka's numbers will soar if he has that player in the box. And then we fix the left-hand side, and I think that'll take some pressure off Saka too.
Saka isn't the kind of winger who plays with a false nine because he's not the winger who wants to score every opportunity. Our wingers, when we had them, And I'm only saying this because I've got experience with them. They wanted to score. They didn't really want to pass. So you needed someone in there who was going to pass and was going to help out in the middle and stuff. Saka, less so Martinelli, but I think when Martinelli has a bad season, it gets exasperated. Saka kind of needs a guy in there who can score the chances that he's going to create. And if Saka gets the option, he will shoot. But I think Saka's more of a pass-first guy, which ultimately, when you have a Havertz or a Jesus or a fucking Ketia up top, there's no point in being the pass-first guy because you're more clinical in front of goal than them three. And that's the issue that they've run into. I think Martinelli having a bad season came at the wrong time because it's put an awful lot onto Saka in terms of he's had to take the brunt of it. I think Trossard as well not being great starting is also been a problem because obviously if Martinelli's not playing well, you just go Trossard on the left, but he needs to come off the bench in most games because he doesn't necessarily have the impact starting. You know, he'll have a decent game, but it's not consistent enough. So I think Arsenal's main priority this summer has to be getting that number 9. And you can't you can't cut corners on that, even if it means you have to sacrifice another position for a year. Even if it means like you'd love another centre mid, but you have to go pay the big bucks.
And I present my case. I actually think that Arsenal are missing a midfielder. Thomas Partey is gonna go. Jorginho is getting old. In my opinion, you always address a hole in your starting 11 before you address a new option. Arsenal have Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus as 2 forwards, right? They have Trossard and they have Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. There is a hole in the starting 11. The left-sided midfielder is a hole. Unless you want to get a DM and you want to play Declan Rice. I believe Declan Rice is a better DM than actually a left-sided midfielder. How do we talk about Arsenal getting a striker, which is an option? That's another way of playing football, where you literally don't have a left-sided midfielder. You just don't. It's Kai Havertz or play Emil Smith Rowe or play Fabio Vieira or play Trossard even there. There is a hole in your starting 11. It's like you have a hole in a center back, but you want to say, I want to get another option for a winger. Well, first of all, address the hole in the starting 11. You need a left-sided midfielder. You don't have one.
I agree. But we have to do both. Realistically, we need the long-term Declan Rice partner that for me is a left-sided 8. We need a striker. We need backup for Bukayo Saka, who's ideally a versatile left-footed winger. And I think we need another defender. I think the defender's the 4th priority, but certainly those first 3. I think we have to address all 3 this summer to compete.
Do you believe you will? Do you believe you will? You get the proper assignments. If you get one free player, like the Gundogan chance that you missed last summer, you can address the other ones. Because I believe the striker will cost you at least 60 million pounds or more, or 70 or more. Mm-hmm. I don't know a lot about this guy, the ex Coventry City that can Goretzka, whatever his name, Goretzka, whatever his name
Scored
is.
Another 2 last night. Oh, he's unbelievable. He's the perfect striker for us. I'm absolutely.
But don't you think if Amorim goes to Liverpool, he will follow him?
No.
Only if we sold Diaz and he really wants to pull rank.
Or do you sell Nunes?
Nunez is the issue for me.
Nunes would end up going to the left. He just end up chucking Nunes as a left winger kind of guy. I think Gyökeres would only come if Amorim really pushed for him. But we won't sell Nunes because ultimately we paid a lot of money for him, and there's underlying numbers there that our data team quite like. Okay. Diaz is the guy who we're at the same spot we were with him 3 years ago when he joined, but he's 3 years older now, and PSG want to pay 75 million for him. If you want to pay 75 million pound for Diaz, I'll snap your hand off for that. And then because Amorim this year has ended up playing a fair amount of, so he's not had Gonçalves, who's his main guy, available. So instead of putting Marcus Edwards out on the left, he chucks his other striker Paulinho out on the left, has Gyökeres there, and they effectively just run a lot through the right hand side and put crosses in if needs be, because they've got a tall guy at the back post. I wouldn't be shocked if Liverpool, if Amorim really pushed for Gyökeres, because I know our data guys like him because there's numbers there that are so good. If we really pushed for him, we could get him because there's that connection with Amorim already.
I actually think Arsenal should jump on this Ivan Toney thing.
No.
I don't think Arsenal like the person of Ivan Toney.
I don't know if he's that good either.
I
The
think
club
hate's a
hate
bit
him.
of a strong
It's not
word.
about that good.
They hate
I
him.
haven't seen a lot of this guy that you guys talk about, right? I've seen
Isak
some
should be the one they
compilations
go
and
for.
stuff. Like if they go
Isak
for
is the one.
Isak, I understand.
Man City will get Bruno G. They'll pull the release clause. Newcastle
Yeah.
won't need to sell Isak and he won't go anywhere.
Doesn't Isak have a release clause on?
Yeah, but unless someone beats, basically someone's going to pull a release clause of one of them, and I don't think it'll be Arsenal because that's not typically what we do.
It's not like Arsenal. It's not like Arsenal could
I don't
stop
like.
you
I don't like
pulling
Bruno
the other one.
at all. Actually,
Well, I guess.
It's clause sat there going, well, Isak can go for 100 million, but if Bruno G goes first, the clause is invalid now. No,
No,
it's
you're
the
right.
clause is there.
But 100 million.
But you'd be paying 80 for Gyökeres. The thing is with Isak is the kind of striker that Saka needs. Gyökeres fits into the profile, but there is the concern of new league and stuff. The reason why I think we'd be best fit is the manager. So you've already got that little bit of goodwill already in terms of the manager's going to trust you. Isak for me is just clinical.
The concern with Isak is the injury record. Over the last 3 seasons, I don't think he's managed more than 60% of the minutes. If you look at what Arteta tries to get out of his starting 11, he wants them all to play 85% plus of the
Yeah, but
minutes.
that's kind of then where he's got to settle down and go, okay, I've got to accept change.
But
because
that's,
that has been his biggest problem this year in terms
I
of just constantly starting players when they didn't need to.
I agree. But he genuinely believes that, by the way. Arteta has previously said if Saka wants to be a top player, he has to be able to play every 3 days for a whole season. That seems to be his philosophy. But
wants to kill him.
But I do, yeah. I think the midfielder is also crucial. The midfielder.
I know why Tom did this, but fine, do whatever.
Why is Tom upset? What's
Why is he
happened?
upset now?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't whatever.
Is it
What's
serious?
wrong,
Are we good?
Tom, don't address the
my
comment.
God.
Tom, don't address the comment.
No, it's fucking Amorim news. West Ham are going for him. Oh my God.
Oh, what you?
I mean, surely that's not.
West
Well, you don't
Ham.
think you can compete with the pull of West Ham? Why is that upset
West Ham.
you?
It's the fact
We
that
cannot
apparently we don't
compete.
want.
Huh?
It's apparently the fact that we're not really in for him.
Who
Yeah,
are you
orange.
in for, man?
There's no
Who are
one
you in
else.
for?
There's
That's
no one
hilarious.
else.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's David Ornstein as well, so it's actually legit.
Oh, crazy. Ornstein
Hold on,
dagger.
what?
West Ham in talks over ambitious move for Ruben Amorim if David Moyes goes. Julian Lopetegui also assessed, but Amorim is the current top target. West Ham said to appeal, but unclear where they sit among the 39-year-olds' options. Liverpool looks unlikely.
Well, Tom,
And
there you
that is
go.
David Ornstein.
There you go. David Moyes will be available. So
Yeah,
I need to do.
Yeah,
We need to
everyone's
do
a
an
winner.
emergency. We need to do an emergency stream.
get Moyes. Give it Moyes.
Moyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did great with them.
Atalanta, like what HUSAM did.
The only times
David
that
Moyes.
the only times Everton finished above Liverpool in the Premier League, I'm pretty sure that's when Moyes was manager. So there you go.
Oh, Tom's day has actually been ruined live on stream. That is
Live on stream.
sensational.
We'll talk about it, Tom. Now it's breaking news.
That's
It's
crazy.
breaking news. It's absolutely breaking news. It's breaking news now. Oh my God.
He just saw Tom's video, so it's like, right,
Gonna be?
I need a
There's no
restraining
one else.
order.
Tommy
There's genuinely
Tuchel.
no one else.
Super Tommy Tuchel.
But there must be someone, obviously, otherwise they would be
Deserby?
desperate to go for him.
No,
Oh,
if
Deserby,
it's
that's a great
Deserby,
shout.
if it's Deserby, I'm watching on the sports. Deserby's not it.
This disrespect is mad.
Xavi. Is he available? Someone says Xavi in the chat. Potter?
Nagelsmann signs an extension with German national team or whatever, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
Nagelsmann's off the table, yeah.
That would have been a great one. If someone could check in on Steven Gerrard's artifact contract, see how much that's worth to buy out. That could be.
Bring back Henderson as well, actually. Henderson assistant coach.
That sounds great. Player coach, player manager.
What, for a season, yeah.
Run it back. Like Kenny Dalglish back in the 80s or whenever he did that. There you go.
Yeah. Ten Hag might be on the market.
Look, Tom, what do you make of these options, mate? Graham Potter?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Apparently Zidane's learning English. Not Scouse, but
Oh
English.
my God. There's
Gareth
fucking
Southgate,
no
people are
one.
saying. Gareth?
Why is the best name I've seen Gary O'Neill?
A decent shout, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my
Gaza.
God.
Big up Gaza. Who else might you like? This face.
Well, West Ham's alternative to Amorim is Lopetegui. So if they get Amorim,
He couldn't hack it at Madrid, and we couldn't even hack it at Wolves. He couldn't hack 6 months at Wolves. Oh. You know what? Fuck it.
He's having a
Do
crisis.
we eat a Jose, then get Jabby in?
Jose, can you imagine? That would be absolute horror. It was actually Mourinho.
I genuinely don't know who you get. And it's going to be even more complicated if United do get rid of Ten Hag and they enter the market as well.
Oh, yeah, that'd be crazy. So your second choice might get sniped.
You're both chasing just awful.
We're going to end up with Pep Linders. We're going to end up with Pep Linders.
It's
I'm
going
going to end up with my fucking assistant manager.
Can Michael Edwards do a job as a coach?
Yeah.
That could be a thing. Don't know. I don't know. David Platt. You know?
Hold on.
What?
I actually genuinely believe that the Derby is now going to Liverpool and Thomas Tuchel is going to Manchester United.
De Zerbi would be good. Like Tom, genuinely De Zerbi. I'm not being cheeky.
His hairline.
Yes, De Zerbi.
Crazy.
I actually said that.
I like De Zerbi. I like him.
De Zerbi to Liverpool.
It's actually a good shout. Give him actual resources. That would be so interesting to see.
Also, the great thing is if it's not going to be Amorim, then that boosts Gyökeres going to Arsenal as well. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win.
There you
Come
go.
on, guys. Come on. I think Liverpool. I don't know what is going to happen at Liverpool, but to be honest, I actually believe that now it's going to be. It's going to. If Amorim doesn't go Liverpool, I believe Liverpool are going to be finished for about 3-4 seasons. Done.
I hope so.
They're going to be like top 4 team now. From now on.
Yeah, that's a bit mad.
There's no one. There's no one.
Why is he going to cry?
It's gonna say it's he's having a tantrum. On like the official like betting people, like, who do they have on the list? Like obviously Amorim is the favorite, I imagine. Who else was like genuinely on that list?
And then fucking Arne Slot.
Sorry, who?
There's some Feyenoord manager.
Didn't they win the cup yesterday?
They've had a good season, to be fair.
There you go.
Our recruitment record from Holland is horrendous. Oh my god, there's no
Arne Slot screams Eric Ten Hag vibes as well in terms of the style of signing.
Is he bald?
Yes.
All right, there you go. You got to go for him then. That's the only way. Clearly, that's the way to do it. Got to go for a ball. Ball managers are in vogue, so you got to go for it. When are you going to get another chance to do that?
But at least Liverpool fans have some big debates about who would be better at Amorim and Alonso.
I completely forgot this super chat. We need Liao and Partey replacement.
And an Amorim replacement. As it turns out.
Oh, I know who we're going to get. Oh my god, we're going to get Thomas Frank. We're going to get Thomas Frank. We're going to get Thomas Frank.
Good manager.
Yeah,
I like him, actually. In press conferences, I like Thomas Frank. I think he speaks well.
I also genuinely do like Thomas Frank. That's not being cheeky. I do genuinely like him.
Yeah. Plus, if you bring him in, he might bring Ivan Toney with him.
Yeah, you were just bigging him up, so
yeah,
you know. And Ben Mee, a footed, solid English defender. You know, you said earlier you needed a left-footed centre half, a left-sided centre half. There he is. Boom. Yeah. No, you're not convinced.
Just give me a year to Jose. Give me a year to Jose.
You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't know what you're saying. You're not you when you're hungry. You can't be saying that.
I'm gonna end up with Thomas Frank, aren't I? I'm gonna be replacing Jurgen Klopp with Thomas fucking Frank.
I mean, it's going to be a downgrade no matter what. So just keep going down, I reckon.
I'm replacing a man who won a Premier League and a Champions League with a man who won a playoff final.
Yeah, which is the equivalent of that, sort of, in a way. Sort of.
It's a trophy for finishing third in fucking championship.
It's a bit Brentford, to be fair. You know, no disrespect to Brentford, but it's Brentford. So don't want to sell what he's done. Genuinely, Thomas Frank's a very good manager. You know, Moneyball and all that. And Brentford are like the baby Liverpool in terms of behind the scenes. They love all that Moneyball stuff. There you go. Michael Edwards is associated with all that. It's a match made in heaven. There we go, sorted. We've actually cracked it.
Do you know what's worse? Jose was at the game yesterday. That's not only what managers do.
He was in the Portuguese. He was in the Portuguese WhatsApp group with Amorim going, I'm gonna air Liverpool to get so I can manage the Conference League champions.
God, this is sensational. This is sensational.
Genuinely, I genuinely don't know what
for this.
I would genuinely rather just have a year of someone else than go all out for Alonso. I'm not doing.
When I said Jurgen Klopp left the team in a tough position, people said you're crazy.
But Alonso's going to Real Madrid. What do you mean go all out?
I'm not doing a project under Thomas Frank. I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
No, but you know what? I think it will be interesting because next season, when you're battling against West Ham for top 10, you'll get to kind of compare your new manager with Amorim.
I'll get to watch him tactically outclass us and go, look at what we could have had. But
yeah, you'll have a little taste of what.
Big up everybody that joined from LB's stream, of course. You guys joined on the good news for you, Man City fans, because Liverpool are in the mud.
Stop mentioning Emery. Emery's been shit.
Why not Emery?
European pedigree. Liverpool, European pedigree club. Unai Emery. Perfect match. With Sevilla, they've got red on their badge. So do Liverpool. It's a perfect compliment.
Why not
good
Emery?
evening.
What?
Emery's one of the best. Genuinely, he's one of the best managers in the league. Be lucky to have him.
What did he do at either of his big clubs?
Don't worry about that. He
had the single worst bottle job. He had the single worst bottle job in Champions League history with PSG.
Got to Europa League final with Arsenal. Don't worry about what happened.
And then had the most embarrassing Europa League final loss.
Don't worry about the final.
Yeah, Baku was a tough one.
And then got sacked in both of them. And the manager that went on to replace them was better.
Didn't he win 3 Europa Leagues in a row though with Sevilla? That's very impressive, genuinely.
Yeah.
We're not Europa League FC.
Sorry, what competition we win this season?
This is we're basically getting the Paella Thomas Tuchel. We're sacrificing the league. We're sacrificing the cups so we can do.
We're not Europa League, as his team just got knocked out of said Europa League. But you're right. You're not Europa League. You got knocked out of it. Good point, actually, Tom. Well brought up.
Unai Emery doesn't lose 3-0 at home to Atalanta in the Europa League.
Good point. Well brought out.
That doesn't happen.
So he'd have steadied the ship.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
So really, what is going to happen to Liverpool now? If we can talk about it for a bit.
Anyone got other sport?
What do you mean? You're a Liverpool fan. You really have to care. There's only
he doesn't
care about.
What other sport recommendations have we got, people? Basketball. Mind you, basketball's close to finishing now. The basketball.
Yeah, get a what's that Bucks manager called? What's he called?
I'm not getting Mike Budenholzer.
No, the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
I'm not getting Doc Rivers.
Get Doc Rivers in.
I'm not getting Doc Rivers.
We'll do a job.
There's no one. Right, I'll tell you right now. I will end up. If it's Gary O'Neill, I'll be sad, but I'll back it. If it's Thomas Frank, I'll be sad, but I'll have to back it. If it's De Zerbi, Tuchel, anyone of that ilk.
Where's Brendan Rodgers nowadays?
Ooh, that's
bottling it with Chelsea.
There you go. He can bottle it. He can boss it with Liverpool. There you go. Solid.
He's already done that in his career.
Oh my god!
Right.
10-year anniversary of when he nearly won the title. Oh my god! It all fits. There you go.
Oh no!
Do you think if you went for Big Ange, you could persuade him to leave Spurs?
Yeah,
that's a brilliant shout. Genuinely,
I think I have a slight idea. Thomas Frank, or we might go for that Pioli from AC Milan.
Oh my god! If you get Pioli, oh my god, that's a Liverpool funeral.
What, Mo? What if they do a curveball and they throw money at Inzaghi?
Yeah, they can. Actually, Inzaghi haven't renewed yet. However, there are news that Inzaghi been offered a new contract. By the way, Inzaghi's contract ends next season, 2025.
Right, maybe it's going to turn on Mo. Maybe Mo's going to be
see it. I actually see it.
So that's actually a reasonable shout by me, Tom. You should be happy about that. I've saved you. Inzaghi, there you go.
But I don't think I don't think Liverpool will offer Inzaghi something like 12 million or something. They won't. Liverpool won't do that. They won't.
Mm-hmm.
The one they can get is Thiago Motta from Bologna, who's been
again. He's turning his nose up at Motta's brilliant Bologna manager. This is
you're gonna get David Moyes if you keep saying all of these no's.
You are a spoiled man, Tom. We're
my plan is to say no to everyone until Amorim is the only option.
No, you're like a spoiled child, aren't you?
So on a serious talk, who do we think can be a success at Liverpool?
Inzaghi, 100%.
No, forget Inzaghi. Realistic options.
Seriously, De Zerbi could be very successful
De
at
Zerbi.
Liverpool. Why not? He's really. We know how good he is tactically. People look at how he's done this season, but he's lost like some of his best players. He's lost McAllister and he's lost Caicedo and he's lost Christ knows who else. Brighton in general have lost however many good players over the years, but they've still been very good and they've been there. I would love to see him be given like genuine tools and genuine money in respect to like the transfer window and like senior players, like as I'm not disrespecting the likes of Lewis Dunk, but we all saw him for England. That is his level. He's not Van Dijk, so I'd love to see him given true great players. Again, no disrespect to the Brighton players, but you get what I mean. There's clearly a different level. I think that would be really interesting.
Do you believe he can win a league title? You can believe he can challenge?
Well, the evidence isn't there, but the evidence won't be there until we at least see it. Is he good from a tactical perspective? In my opinion, yes, he is. Would he be able to coach the egos or whatever? That's up in the air. I don't know. There's no evidence of it, so I can't comment on it. But from a tactical perspective, why not?
The thing is, if you just start looking at people that have proven that they can win the Premier League, then you narrow that down to a very finite number of managers that are actually still managing at a top level.
Yeah.
Outside of Pep and Klopp.
You're looking at like Conte at that point.
Conte or
Conte at Liverpool would be hilarious. I think that would be hilarious.
That would be terrible.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. I think that would be a shit show. And I think that's a stand-up comedy show. I think that would be amazing.
Or a Portuguese man that was very randomly at Fulham versus Liverpool yesterday. Which the more you think about it, that is very rogue. That Jose Mourinho is at Craven Cottage to watch Fulham versus Liverpool, and the very next day it comes out that
if Rio Ferdinand as well, if Rio Ferdinand think that Arteta would leave Arsenal to go to Man United, he definitely thinks that he can leave Arsenal to go to Liverpool then.
But that's if you take Rio Ferdinand's word as any sort of credible, logical, sensible.
That's not going to happen.
Thing.
No.
The thing is, I do think some managers will be looking at this going, the first person that takes the job after Klopp is probably they are probably going to come out of it worse. If you just look at that sort of role, historically, the way it goes for the first manager, they don't come out of it well. So,
yeah, that's a good point. You might need to suffer and have a lesser manager in the immediate aftermath of Klopp leaving, because they'll obviously, I know it's not like the exact same, but there was obviously Fergie was at United for a long time, an impossible act to follow. Look what happened there immediately. Maybe a similar situation. Tom, you've gone on record saying it's the best manager in your lifetime, whatever. It's a pretty tricky act to follow. So maybe you do need to fail to succeed long term. Maybe this is what Amorim's thinking. Maybe this is what Alonso was thinking. I don't want to follow the act of Klopp. I need to follow the act which follows Klopp.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But that might be a thing because, managers are humans and managers will want to protect their own, record.
Is that Jurgen Klopp's fault?
No.
All of this?
No.
Why not?
Because he can leave whenever he wants to leave.
Is he not under contract?
I guess it's his fault if he wants to leave Liverpool in the best state he possibly can, because you'd think there'd be a conversation about successes and stuff. But maybe, certainly.
No, but the fact, I believe if Pep is gonna leave, by the way, Man City, I am sure Pep will tell the people of Manchester City, by the way, for the next year we need to start looking for replacements.
And to be fair, maybe they
not.
Have to,
I am tired. I am gone after some months.
Yeah, but you don't know how long before the announcement came out that Klopp had actually told them that was what he was going to do. He might have told them before the start of this season that it was going to be his last.
And again, there might have already been this conversation. Maybe the reason they're not interested in Amorim allegedly is because they are interested in another manager who we haven't even considered.
Yeah,
so maybe they already do know.
I don't understand this. Why they aren't interested in Amorim?
Maybe maybe their mind's already been made up. Maybe this conversation was held last year, and maybe they've gone, well, I have no idea who. Ex-manager is the one. So everyone on the outside was saying Amorim, everyone was saying Alonso, but maybe they actually earmarked someone who we haven't even considered. Again, I don't know who that might be, but maybe that's what's happening behind the scenes. So that's why they're not interested in the likes of Amorim.
I believe there's only 2 names in the market that will be better. Like, I don't believe they would say we're not interested in Amorim and go get the Zerbi, for example. There's only 2 names, maybe Zidane and Xavi. That's it. What other names are on the table? Xavi plays tiki-taka football. You'll have Arteta play tiki-taka football. You'll have Pep, and you'll have Xavi.
That works for this Liverpool team, doesn't it? We've got loads of technically sound players.
Let's have another Pep apprentice in this league. Big up.
Can't wait to watch Darwin Núñez try to do 1-2s.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they don't want Amorim, though. Maybe they don't want... I mean, I feel like Amorim's style does actually suit a fair amount of Liverpool players, but maybe they do. Maybe they found someone else that they think's a better fit, and they're just waiting to reveal
we
it.
don't
What
know,
they did say, I think, did they not say? Didn't Liverpool say something along the lines of they are willing to be brave?
They want to be brave, not popular. Whatever the fuck that
brave,
means. That
not
means
popular.
Thomas Frank. It means I've got Thomas Frank coming into my club.
Oh, yeah, I never feel like you're setting yourself
why
up
would
well
you
with
not be interested in Amorim and get Thomas Frank? That doesn't make any sense. Like,
because Thomas Frank done it in the Premier League. That'll be the reason.
I think you'll go for someone fun. I love that motto shout. I think that would be really fun. Genuinely, really fun. I think, especially the club has said we want to be. What is it? We want to have fun. No, we want to what? Not popular.
We'd be brave. We want to be brave, not popular.
Brave. That would be very brave, wouldn't it? Going for a relatively inexperienced manager, playing for a relatively, in general, a lesser side who are doing very good in Serie A. I don't know where they are in the Serie A mode, but I believe they're quite high. Bologna.
Yeah, they are fourth now.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds very good. That would be brave.
But hold on. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, people. Are Liverpool in a place to take an uncalculated risk?
But maybe it is calculated.
By the way, Arsenal made a gamble on Arteta, but the board was very clear. Come in, clear this all out. We need to build a new team, and it doesn't matter what happens. We need to build a new team that will be able to stick together for 7-8 years. Job done, right? It doesn't matter if Arteta stays or goes. Anybody that comes to Arsenal now, he has a core of like 8-9 players that will... a machine that will work for the next 6-7 years, right? You can add pieces here and there if you like, if a new coach comes in. Like, imagine if Inzaghi leaves in 2025, and Arsenal get him, Arteta leaves, goes whatever. He's going to say, yeah, I want this guy. I want Bastoni. I want 1 or 2 players. But the core is there. This is a risk that was taken based on, we don't care if we win trophies or not. We're not in a place to win the Premier League or the Champions League. Are Liverpool in that place?
No.
That's my point. That's my point.
You're right. You're right. Arsenal, they didn't have a free hit with Arteta, but to an extent, Arteta coming in, clearing the squad and spending a lot of money, from where we were in the league, the likely trajectory was always going to be upwards. It was just about how far upwards and how quickly that would be. Liverpool are not in that position. Liverpool are in a position where they have to bring someone in.
Gary O'Neill was at Liverpool 3 years ago. Gary O'Neill was our under-21 assistants. They might pull that out.
But yeah, Liverpool can't take that risk. And in the same way, if Arsenal lost Arteta now, we wouldn't go and get another Arteta. Because we're not at that point.
You get someone that will get a piece or 2 pieces to complete the squad. You won't get a new project manager.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about, because a lot of Liverpool people think that, we can get someone that will build. Bro, you built already for 7 years or 9 years with Jurgen Klopp. You cannot sit here and tell me that we need to build. Again, you can't build. It's very, like, Liverpool are in a very strange position that they need to actually get the next manager right, because I believe Liverpool will go and do the dark hole if they don't get the next one right. It's a very strange situation, right? But there is not a lot of people on the market. It was Amorim, Alonso, right? Or bust. Because Zidane doesn't want to coach in England. The next one is Xavi, or you go for the lower half of the table people, the Thomas Franks, the Gary O'Neills, these guys. You get McKenna. He's playing very good football with Ipswich.
The thing is, I don't even think it was Amorim, Alonso, or bust. I don't think it was Amorim or Alonso or bust. I think it was Alonso or bust, and then it was bust. So then it became Amorim or bust, and it's bust again. And now it is, I don't know who or bust. But
Now it's 2. What managers have there been around the world who've done decent things with fucking whoever, with like, who's the Girona gaffer?
Why Tom looks so distracted?
It's like I've just punched his sainted mother or something. Like, he's so upset. Look at his face. Oh dear.
just
It's
wasn't the way he
absolutely-
thought this stream was going to go.
I never
Oh
thought
my
that.
God,
Which
Iraola.
by the way, it's a
We're
very
gonna end up.
strange
We're either gonna
news,
end up
bro.
getting. We're either gonna end up getting some fella who done decently with some mid-table foreign side, or some fella who done decently with some mid-table Premier side. We're not going and getting a
There's
top
there's
level
coach
manager. We're
that
not getting the Zidans of this world. We're not getting the Inzaghi's of this world.
Go get the Girona manager.
We're going to either end up with the Girona manager, Thiago Motta, who's done it in Germany, the
Graham
Stuttgart
Potter,
manager.
Graham Potter as well.
Graham Potter,
Available. Graham Potter is available, bro. By the way,
arguably best English
who's
manager
done it in
going.
France? Is there a good Will Still? Let's just chuck Will Still into the mix. Fucking Iraola, Gary O'Neill,
he's
Thomas
so
Frank.
irritated,
That's
bro.
what we
He's
end up
so
with.
irritated.
We're replacing Jürgen Norbert Klopp.
Norbert, he
Klopp
middle named him. He middle named him.
with fucking Thomas Frank,
What's
Gary
his middle
O'Neill,
name?
Iraola. Fucking.
In fairness, you have only won one Premier League. I feel like expected to go and get the very best.
They make it. That's all that Liverpool fans make it like it is impossible to replace Jurgen Klopp because he challenged Pep twice and won one league title. That's what. While if you get another manager, can
My
win the Premier
football
League against
club,
Pep.
my football club had not won a league title for 30 years. Winning one is about like you're the messiah to me because you've done what
Exactly,
all
to
yours
you,
before
not to us,
couldn't.
because we look at it from our side. You always told us that you're a big team, you're a big club. So for a coach to spend 9 years and win one league title, we don't think that's very hard to do because we consider Liverpool a big club.
Who's the current Dortmund manager?
The guy that bottled the league in the last game last season.
Get him in. There you
Try
go.
and sell me him. Try and sell me him at least.
There you go. Well, the history tells us that you succeed. Well, you win one league title every however long when you sign a manager from Dortmund. So the boot fits. Terzic, there you go. Fantastic name. He's called Edin. Brilliant. We all know how much Liverpool fans love people called Edin. Brilliant work. There you go. The boot fits. Terzic. Brilliant name. It's got a Z in it. Like De Zerbi. I already like him. Boom.
This is a joke. This is really the joke of the day.
But by the way, isn't it kind of crazy in the first place that Liverpool fans are this gutted that they're not going to get a manager who's been managing for like 4 years in the Portuguese
I said
league?
that. I said that. I
Is
swear,
it all Liverpool
Rory,
fans though?
Rory,
Or is
I
it
said
just
that.
Tom?
Do you remember, Rory? We discussed this, me and
I
you,
know.
before, and I'm like, why are they dying for this guy? Like, he won the league in Portugal. Villas-Boas did it and came and failed in England. Like, this guy isn't like he didn't win Bundesliga back to back or reach a Champions League final or did this or won La Liga, for example, or like he's the Portuguese manager that won the league with Sporting Lisbon.
And got
Like-
knocked out by Atalanta in the Europa League this year as well.
Exactly, like because
the
he won
Atalanta
against
manager.
Arsenal in penalties last season. He's fantastic.
Oh,
He
the
played 35
Atalanta managed like 66.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No, but
ages.
he is good.
Get a Gasperini. You won't get a
He
Gasperini.
just knocked out Liverpool from that competition. Respect him.
Never
He still got.
Gasperini was sacked by Inter in 5 games. He is gonna under. He's literally sacked after 5 games. I think he drew 4 and lost 1, and they just fucking sacked him, or lost 4 and drew 1. They sacked him.
What's Rafa Benitez doing?
Ooh,
He's-
shout.
he got
Oh,
sacked
Rafa
by
Benitez is a good
Celtic.
shout. Rafa Benitez is a good shout. Why
Brilliant
not?
back
Rafa
to
He
Benitez?
got sacked by
2005.
Celta Vigo early this season.
So he's
Rafa's
available, is
back.
what you're telling me. So he's available. That all I'm hearing is he's available. When you say he was sacked, I hear available. Yeah.
But I
There you
get Rory's point is spot on. Liverpool fans having a meltdown over a coach that have never coached a big club in his life.
But again,
That
is it
has been
Liverpool
coaching
fans?
for 4 years.
Is it Liverpool fans or is it
Because you
Tom?
like him, Tom, doesn't make him a great coach.
No. Because the reason why it is, I look at all the other managers that I've got. You're saying that he's only managed 4 years. My other options are Gary O'Neill, who's managed 1.5. Thomas Frank, who's done 5, but half of it was in the fucking Championship. Who else after that? I've taken 4 years where you've won 2 league
Thomas
titles.
Tuchel has more experience than him.
Thomas Tuchel would just blow up everything.
I don't like Thomas Tuchel, by the way. I'm just putting this out there. I hate Thomas Tuchel. I think he's a shit league manager. Doesn't have a style.
Crazy.
I don't like him.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but the way they wank over this Amorim guy, I'm like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. Like if you're getting Zidane after a three-peat of a Champions League, I'll be saying yes, you're right. But the way they talk about this Amorim guy is like he's the next big thing. He might come to Liverpool and you'll be 6th and 5th. And get sacked in 18 months. He's out of the win.
I would take that gamble over a guy whose pedigree is fucking 11th place with Brentford.
That's
what we're doing for our next manager.
That's very good for Brentford.
Yeah. Respect them.
You could argue he overachieved.
He did
in the Premier League.
certainly.
No,
And you got them
Arsenal
sorted.
took a gamble on an
I
assistant
can't wait for
coach.
that. That's going to be bleak. That we go into title race next year with Arsenal and Man City, and we sit there and go, right, Pep, he's been.
Xavi would be okay. Who's be better, Xavi or him, or Amorim? Who's a better coach?
Amorim fits Liverpool more.
What does that mean? Fit Liverpool? What does that mean?
I want you to sit there, Mom. I want you to sit there and imagine
I'm sitting
my
there.
football team.
I am.
I want you to sit there and imagine my football team with the players that we've got. Try and play Barcelona tiki-taka football.
But he doesn't play that. That was a joke. The guy is like, hoof it to Lamine Yamal and let's hope for the best. That's what he does.
But we don't have a young winger to do that with, do we?
Yamal was Salah and Rafinha with Diaz or whoever you're going to get as a left winger. And you have Van Dijk better than freaking, what's his name? Araujo at the back. And you have Alisson with, Ter Stegen. You buy Frankie de Jong with Xavi. He doesn't even like Frankie de Jong. You have McAllister. I think you're golden. I think you're golden with him. I really think.
I'm actually gonna end up with fucking.
Why you're? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. You're all right.
It's not that bad.
We're making another Brendan Rodgers appointment. That's what we're doing.
Hey, he nearly won you a league title. Respect him.
He did nearly win you a league title.
Yeah, he also ruined what the football club was institutionalized on for 4 years until Michael Edwards came in and fixed it all.
Yeah, but did you
Why
nearly win a
don't you
title?
man Zidane from your
I love Zidane, but I'm also not stupid. I think Zidane's
going
to
Liverpool Football Club.
He's not stupid. That's the real problem.
Why?
Zidane's not
Do you think
coming.
him joining Liverpool is a
Zidane's
stupid decision?
I know Zidane's not coming.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
I would like Zidane, but Zidane's not going to come Liverpool.
Why?
Zidane doesn't need that stress. His
has
legacy
nothing to prove as a manager.
He's
nothing
bald, though.
to do.
He's going to Bayern Munich.
Box.
That's not stressful as much. Bayern Munich.
It's nowhere near as stressful going to Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich's just
and not playing against Pep Guardiola
for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Especially when Xabi goes.
Zidane doesn't want that
goes. He's just back to normal.
Do you think you do end up just? Is there's any way that you end up keeping Klopp? The board just turn around and go, Klopp, please.
You imagine?
Please.
No.
We've exhausted
I would
all
love that,
options.
but no, that's not happening. That's not happening. He can't have done all this just to turn around and say, I'll stay now. He can't have.
It's happened. Stranger things have happened. Fergie did it, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Fergie said he was going to go, then he didn't.
Yeah.
Boom. Anything can happen. But he's not going to stay, is he? Because Michael Edwards doesn't like him or something. So that's almost definitely not going to happen.
Tom, easy.
The way Liverpool fans talk about Michael Edwards, do you need a manager?
I said earlier, I said, can he do a coaching job?
He said it with a very straight face.
Rory, that's the best thing you've said.
I know Rory has to go, and I know Rory has to go.
Guys,
guys, I know we're about to finish, but I'm just waiting for a message from somebody. And if no pressure, if anybody wants to go. By the way, guys, Rory, 6:30 daily. Rory Talks Football in the description.
Yes.
You gotta go. We have over 700 people here. Go subscribe to Rory Talks Football. 700 people here. I'm expecting him to at least get 100 sub. After, of course, the other guys, Nobbins and Tom, are in the description as well. But Rory Talks Football in the description, people. 6:30 daily on Rory Talks Football. Also follow Rory on TikTok. Brilliant TikToks. Absolutely. It's very simple. Just type Rory on TikTok. He will pop up with 3 accounts. It's very simple. It doesn't cost you a penny. And I'm sure you will enjoy his TikToks and his social media accounts. Brilliant guy. Always helping here. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant guy. Thank you, Rory.
very
Appreciate
much.
you being
Goodbye,
here.
guys.
Anyone know
right.
what channel I can watch Al-Etifak on?
What do you want? What do you want?
You want Stevie
Anyone
G?
know what channel I can watch Al-Etifak on? Because I'm going to end up... there's a chance he ends up getting it.
Why don't you get like Jordan Henderson to coach your club? He's just retired from Ajax and get and coach your club.
Yeah, he's currently learning from the Johan Cruyff School of football. Match
Let me
made
do
in
a couple
heaven.
of these super chats.
I have hated every minute of this stream
Ben.
beyond that announcement. I've hated every single part of it.
I like
that.
that.
David Ornstein has done damage to my psyche that he will not
This
know
is-
the true meaning
This
of.
has been a simply iconic.
This is very good stream that that news went live. The manager market STD is
The
just
manager market
so-
standard is just so low.
standard is just so low. 100%. I agree. Where are the times where we had great managers coaching? 100%. Tevin is saying, not gonna lie, when Nobbin start trolling you, it's tough.
I'm just chilling. I'm having
Thank
fun.
you, Tevin. Honesty is saying, if not Amorim, I want Hansi Flick or Xavi. I think Xavi is very good. I think Javi is good. It's good for you. Tevin is saying, Nobbins, this is a masterful display of counter pressing and cutbacks across the box. Straight daggers to Tom. Unrelentless, fantastic performance. Yeah, that's Doco performance. 100%.
Big up.
Andrew said, who said it off? It's Ornstein said it's unlikely to happen. 100%. So, Andrew, that's it. Listen, this has been absolutely fantastic. Like, I'm now happy because I don't believe Amorim would have succeeded at Liverpool. I believe you should get somebody else more established. I don't know who, but somebody else. But anyway, listen, people. We're off. We're out. Unless there's something else to talk about, there is nothing. I think Liverpool fans are gonna have a meltdown. Husam's gonna go live in a bit.
I'm going live in a minute. So
Tom is going live. Tom Little is going to go live to talk about it on his channel. It's in the description as well. So guys, go and subscribe. Nobbins.
Oh my god, I forgot Richard Hughes is a fucking. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna end up with the Zerbi. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna end up with the Zerbi. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Finally, I get to see the Zerbi with better players. Mo stream is coming too.
DZ.
Zerbi. Zerbi, yes!
Oh, reunited with McAllister.
I get to see the Zerbi with better players. Caicedo's gonna leave, and he's gonna go to Liverpool, and we're gonna see Billy Gilmore bowling next to McAllister in the middle of the Liverpool field. Absolutely brilliant. Danny Welbeck is gonna join Liverpool at the end of his career. That is absolutely amazing. At least you're gonna get Mitoma. Adingra's gonna join your club now. You might have Lewis Dunk next to Van Dijk. That's a brilliant partnership. That's be very, very good. That's a very good. De Zerbi is a great coach. I like De Zerbi, actually. I love De Zerbi.
I like him a lot. Again, genuinely.
I actually think De Zerbi with good players will cook. Will have a brilliant system. Wallah, you guys are. Tom, it's all right, Habibi. Habibi, it's all right.
Habibi.
It's all good. It's all good. You're gonna be all right. You were gonna have a fall off anyway. That's what people are saying.
Easy.
Anyway, people, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. This was an absolutely legendary stream. It will be remembered forever on Footy Judge Mo. Guys, we can get to 400 likes on this stream. It's very good. Tom, it's okay. Ten Hag. Stuff is saying Ten Hag. Oh,
Bald. He ticks the bald box.
Ten Hag to Liverpool, as Staffy says. The
give me the Coventry manager.
Oh, Terry's here. Tom, you'll be okay.
Give me the Coventry manager. I'll take the Coventry manager. I'll have him.
Is he bald?
No, he's got a little bit of hair.
Nah, I see. That incorrect. Should go for Ten Hag.
McKenna to Liverpool is happening. I believe actually it's TVG. It's
Oh
KJ.
my
I
God.
know it's KJ. I know.
KJ's text me.
You got
Enjoy
KJ.
Potter.
I know
KJ
it's
text
Football
me,
Terrace
enjoy
Clips.
Potter.
That's KJ's channel.
Am I gonna have Graham Potter as my manager?
You'd be privileged to have Graham Potter as your manager. Respect him.
Okay, let me just do this. Before we go. Oh, by the way, Husam is going live after this. This will take you to Husam's stream. Oh my God, Husam is gonna have a meltdown. This is gonna be absolutely fantastic. The thing about it is that I know Husam didn't care about Amorim as much. It is actually it's Tom who put that in his mind. You know that. Husam didn't care about Amorim that much. Husam wanted Alonso, right? But it's Tom. Tom is the one who made that happen.
No, but do you know what it is? Do you know
He sold him a dream.
Me and Hussam kind of agreed on the fact that if it's not Amorim, we're in trouble. It's not Amorim.
Why not? Xavi's better than Amorim, Habibi.
Oh, he dropped the H-bomb.
I'm not trying to watch Xavi ball at my club.
What do you mean Xavi ball? What is Amorim ball anyway? 3-5-2?
Can't wait to watch us try and dominate games with Nunes trying to hold up play. Oh yeah. Woo. With Tardiwendo trying to dictate tempo from DM because he could do that, can't he?
You're gonna sign players if you get Xavi. Come on, don't be like that.
Yeah, you'll back him.
Don't be like that. Don't tell me that the next manager will work with the same squad.
Innit?
Well, he's not gonna get a full overhaul, is he?
Cap.
Not getting a full overhaul.
Might do.
Come on, Tom.
I've enjoyed myself today. This has been a fun time.
Liverpool Football Club. Of course, the day after we win a game, they now try and drop this news on me to ruin my mood. I was happy going into this stream. I was going to talk about Liverpool winning, and now it's just turned into this.
It's good, isn't it?
It's good. I don't think it's bad. Imagine if you get linked to Amorim, and then nothing happens.
And then a better manager comes along like RDZ.
Yeah,
no.
Better.
No, genuinely, no. Who do you think is going to join Liverpool? From your point, someone we don't know.
Honestly,
someone is not on the market.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a name we haven't mentioned today. It wouldn't surprise me if
it's going to be De Zerbi. At this point,
I actually believe it's going to be Linders. Is this guy, the assistant? Why not?
Mad.
Why not, Nobbins?
Does he have senior experience? I don't know enough about him.
Arteta didn't when he joined Arsenal.
True. Okay, there you go.
By the way, Xavi didn't. Hansi Flick, KJ saying.
Fair. No, you're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. There you go. And he's called Pep.
Another German manager. Hansi Flick is not bad.
Oh my God, he's like a combination of Guardiola and Klopp then, because he's German. But
Hansi Flick is good.
Smash it. There you go.
Unless they want to take a risk on a new manager, like the Thomas Franks, the De Zervis, and all these. Yes, Staffy. I know Xavi coached in Qatar, but Nobbins was saying that he has a senior like in a top league, in one of the top leagues. Xavi coached in Qatar, but he didn't have. Coaching in Qatar is different than coaching in Europe. For a fact.
I respect the Pep Linders shout. I respect that.
Pep versus Pep is good.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You can't beat Pep. Become Pep.
Give me Jose for a year. I'll have a laugh.
Jose Mourinho?
Give me Jose for a year.
You don't want Jose. You don't want.
I think the only one that can battle. I actually think the only one that can battle Pep with this team is Mr. Antonio Conte. He's a free agent now. Antonio Conte, 3-5-2, Nunes and Salah up top. That would work. Van Dijk, Konate. He's gonna bench Trent. That's not gonna be the problem. He's not like Trent is not for him. He's not gonna play.
He sells Trent.
Imagine he comes in Antonio Conte and sells Trent.
Victor Moses
sells Trent to Real Madrid and get like Dumfries from Inter. And that guy's right wing back Dumfries instead of Trent.
Oh, look at his little face. Oh yeah, he'd sell Trent immediately, bring in some shithouse right wing back. Oh yeah, signs Ashley Young, amazing shout. Yeah. Brings back Ashley Young, recalls at Christian Eriksen. Gets
So
the
the
whole
guy
gang back
literally
together.
signed Ashley Young and benched Perisic for Ashley Young.
There you go. You see, there's a top quality player in there.
Come on, Tom.
Tom
It's
doesn't
all
seem
right.
convinced.
Tom, Habibi, it's okay.
Habibi.
Tuchel. Do you guys think they're gonna get Thomas Tuchel, another German manager, on Hansi Flick?
That would work.
You-
It's a similar style, isn't it? You know,
Thomas Tuchel is not similar style to Jurgen Klopp, no.
it's similar-ish. It's more similar than De Zerbi, I'd say.
Okay. Anyway,
It doesn't
guys,
have to be identical, but it's a similar vibe.
even everybody's joining the stream. I would laugh but feel Tom's pain. I want to see you, Man City fans, when Pep leaves. I actually believe Xavi
getting
will
De Zerbi.
actually follow. I actually believe Xavi will join. I think if they get De Zerbi, you're gonna get Xavi.
I don't even know who I want. It doesn't matter who we get because it's going to be a massive step down no matter who it is. So it doesn't actually. It's more much of a
Everyone
much,
is
to be
a
honest.
step down from Pepper, you know that. Right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's much of a much. I won't be like. I can promise you now. I won't be like unless it's Gareth Southgate. I'm not going to be like Tom and have a meltdown on stream. I can guarantee you guys that.
By the way, if Inzaghi, people saying Inzaghi, if Inzaghi goes to Liverpool, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, halas, what do you want me to do?
Can we have Inzaghi?
Like I'm not gonna sit here and cry. By the way, Inzaghi is not an Inter legend. He haven't even won the league with us yet. Like, if he wins the league and leaves, listen, I've seen plenty of managers that enter that won and left, so I don't care as much. Andrew's saying I would take Conte or Jose rather than rubbish managers out there. Would you okay? Would you take De Zerbi or Conte or Mourinho, Tom?
There's a right answer here.
Tom, if you are to choose one of the three, which one? Okay, I'm going to give you options, Tom. Thomas Tuchel, Mourinho, Conte, De Zerbi, Thomas Frank. Pick one. Pick an order.
Mourinho.
Have you guys watched football in the last 5 years? You guys know what Mourinho is about now?
Mourinho has not been relevant.
Mourinho is the last in my list. Like, for me,
Do you think any of them? No. But you're pulling out the Mourinho's not. Do you think any of these managers keep us relevant? No.
yes,
No.
De Zerbi does.
De Zerbi, there's a genuine chance with
Conte
RDZ.
keeps you relevant. Not Mourinho, bro. Not Mourinho.
Mourinho's crazy. Mourinho's
guys, rank these managers if you're a Liverpool fan in the chat. Mourinho, Conte, De Zerbi, Thomas Tuchel, or Thomas Frank. Rank these managers.
Got to be RDZ as the number one.
RDZ.
There's still. I'm still convinced there's an elite manager in Conte. I'm still convinced of that. I'd rather have him over Jose.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna have to end this. Okay. Thank you, Nobbins and Tom, for staying over 2 hours on this stream. Really appreciate you guys. Guys, Tom is going live. I would rather take Flick at Liverpool if I am a Liverpool fan. Hansi Flick is not a bad shout. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah. Another good shout.
That's a good shout. Tom, you're going live. He's going live now. Tom. He literally went to go live. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Nobbins, for being here. Appreciate you. This will take Sam. And we'll see you guys soon. We're out of here.